Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, just when they out it. Your own blood, ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the wars within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul bony. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. From wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Yeah. Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding, girl, I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. Have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, and always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith in my face, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life.
What up, what up, what up, what everybody out there? Thanks for coming through. Y'all already know what it is. It's your brother, Humble Mystic, in the building. Hey, listen, man, these Hebrews be funny, bro. So what we going to do is we going to do a recap of last night's show. That's the part of, you know, when I'm dialoguing with Sapphire and Kazad, and we want to expose, these Hebrews, bro. Flat, for real, for real. So we gonna get into it. I'm gonna share this screen right now, and man, listen, we gonna most definitely also have some dialogue in between, and we gonna be doing some on the spot fact checking. All right, am I sharing? Let's get it.
Fire debate, but
What up? What up? Get in. What up? I see y'all in there. You muffled, Brody. I can't hear you. Oh shit. Oh, hold on. You muffled, Brody. Out before I speak up to your mic. Man, shout out to my man Quantum Onlyism, putting the background up there. Hey yo, it's fire, bro. It's funny. I like it out there. Should I? What up, Gideon? Hey yo. Let's get it though.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, man. It was a good debate. You know, even though man, you took an L on this one, bro. You took an L on this one.
Yo, listen to this. Why you think I took an L, Brody? Listen to his response.
No.
Hold on, let me pause.
Because a lot of your
because I genuinely wanted to know this brother's response. Like, I took an L. Why you think I took an L? You see what I'm saying? I really want to know. Was you gonna come up there and be the Hebrew I know you to be? Or you gonna say, you know what? Well, as I heard, he made these points, you made them points. This is, what it was. Right? So I really wanted to know. So let's hear his explanation on why I took it out.
Your points. See, I'm judged off the fact that I know biblical Hebrew. So
he judged off the fact he know biblical Hebrew. This is not our judge for the debate, y'all. This is just somebody, a Hebrew, who just wanted to come up and say, okay, well, I lean towards the other side, But he came up, and the first things out of his mouth was, well, I judge based off the fact that I'm a biblical Hebrew scholar. What does that even mean in a realm of academia? Like, listen to this man.
I mean, that's where I'm really gauge it from. It's not that.
So you don't gauge it from us. So now listen to the next question I asked this man. You gauge it from the fact that you're a Hebrew. You don't gauge it from an academic or the anthropology of it.
I'm gauging it from the actual biblical, the academic biblical Hebrew scholar. You know what I'm saying? It's not on no bias. It's not on no bias or anything like that. Like, case in point, when you was bringing out Elroy, right?
Sorry.
It literally says it's text that she said this to Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? She called Yahweh Elroy.
This right here, this is why the Hebrews be funny, bro. She called Yahweh Elroy when we know Genesis 6:3, y'all. And this is why, because even in the debate, I was saying, I ain't even got to deal with the Genesis 6:3 because he ain't deal with my Genesis 6:3. And I already knew he was going to try to do some flim-flam trickery with the Genesis 6:3. That's a question. So you saying that your people back in the day didn't know how to distinguish between a question and a statement? They do throughout the whole other Bible, but now this part right here, they don't know how to distinguish between a question and a statement. Flim-flam, trickery. But let's get back to this man Sapphire, bro. He say he come as a biblical Hebrew, as a scholar and as a believer. That right there nullifies his whole judgment. After he just said, I came unbiased. unbiased, how is you saying, okay, well, I'm judging it as a Hebrew believer, but then I'm also coming unbiased? Those two things don't even go in the same category. Let's get into it, bro. The flammery, bro. That's why you gotta watch them. They always try to wiggle their way around some stuff. Let's get it. And then I asked the brother, so you're not looking at this from an anthropological or cultural viewpoint? No, all that's good and fine, right? I'm just saying that it don't match with what you saying. Okay, let's get into it. Watch this.
Okay, because Yahweh.
Hagar don't call Yahweh Elroy. Because Hagar during that time had to go and make up a name for God. She had to make up something to call him, and that's what she chose to call him. So she did. They didn't know Yahweh's name. It was like, okay, well, now let's go call him Elroy. That was the name that she personally chose to call him.
Okay, or rather, if that's the case or not, when we go to the passage, it
time out. Now let me go back because I gotta see yo. Now, whether that's the case or not, whether she knew the name or not, no, bro, you can't run past that after I make my, like, this is why they be funny, bro. They really be thinking they up here doing something, making themselves look crazy. He brought out the Elroy point. I addressed it. Now, after I address it, he don't even got no contention with it, whether that's the case or not. You just don't like that you stand on the opposite side of what I'm saying, because it goes against what your very Bible teach about. Hey, man. What's up, brother? Get in. I see you down there, Brody. I see you. You can't just fly past that sapphire, whether that's the case or not. That's important because that shows right there the culture during that time. They understood that El was their high god. They chose that name. They didn't choose the name because it was a generic title. They chose the name because during that time, El was worshipped.
No, brother. There's no such thing as El was worshipped. See, what you're doing is conflating Ugaritic text, which is Northern
I always know you're fucking with me, man. I don't even take you serious.
You know. But so once again, as we see this brother, man, he don't even have no intellectual response to combat what I just said with. He just come with your conflate. I ain't mention Ugarit. I ain't mention none of that. But what we do know, as in the Bronze Age, right? These people that was from the inland of Canaan fled to the highland of Canaan, and they took this El tradition with them. Now, y'all going to see later on where Khazad again. I'm going to drop the link, King J. I'm going to get to you, Brody. I'm going to get to you, too. You ain't off the hook, King J. But we going to see again where Khazad concede and agree with me, where there was a merger happen. But instead of him trying to say it was when I said it, he going to say, oh, I don't believe in your chronology wrong. But he ain't want to say it was a bit. Listen, we're going to get into all of that, man. We're going to get into all of that. But again, let's get back to this Sapphire dude, bro. Again, he don't even have the wit to say, oh, no, well, I can show you it in the Bible in another inscription where when she talks about Elroy, she's referring to she's referring to Yah. He can't even show you that. And that's why he won't do it, because he can't show that. But what I can show is how, and this is why even when Khazad in the debate was talking about the Amorites and the Midianites and all these, yo, bro, that's not the title of our debates. I know you want to go outside and derail from these quote unquote Israelite people that you're trying to insert in history so bad where we don't see them. And then when we bring the real history and the real archaeology, the first thing they say is, oh, well, we don't believe in that. And we're gonna get into that too, because that's crazy work. All right, well, you ain't standing by this, but then what do you stand by? They so scared to say they stand by the biblical chronology because they know, man, listen, tear their heads off with it. You bet not say you stand by no biblical chronology. Anyway, yo, these guys are funny, bro. These guys are crazy. Just the things they be saying. This is why my debate with Kazad, I was talking to y'all, family. I was talking to the people and I was talking to the judges, not just so y'all could watch and be like, oh yeah, okay, we see that. No, but okay, he said this. Let's go research that. This is why he didn't want to deal with the Bronze Age collapse. And even in this video, when we go back, this man started to talk about the early, late Bronze Age. What's a early? Come on, bro. We gotta get this man together, bro. They talk about, I want to have a chronology debate. You gotta study more on your chronology first, brother, before you come to me and talk about you want to have a chronology debate. Because you in certain chronologies at this point, even that. Let's get into it, man. Crazy work. Crazy. This is why they laughable, y'all. This is why they laughable.
First and foremost, the Ugaritic is in the northern region. We're talking about in Canaan, down here in Canaan. This whole terminology of Ilu or El, okay, is not a deity. This simply means God or power. You see what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with
right, so
the Ugaritic culture.
Right. So that's why when Kazad was saying all of that, I never addressed that because we wasn't dealing with what all of these regions see. We're dealing with the inland. That's why I brought up the Bronze Age collapse, right? So we can zero in, folks. So we not talking general here. We're dealing with a specific group of people, and we know this is what they use, or this is who they were worshiping during that time.
Okay, humble. That
now clarified all that out the way. We got all that out the way. This is exactly, and I just told y'all this is why he didn't deal with it, but this is exactly why I did deal with it, because this is the only way we can zero in on these people and identify who these people is. When you going into all these other cultures, how does that tell you anything about who you quote unquote are as an Israelite? It doesn't, because it doesn't deal with any of your history. It deals with their history. But now when we talk about what El was in your tradition and in your history, it was most definitely a high god, way before it was a title. And that's the undeniable truth he don't want to deal with. Let's get into it. Terrible, man. And then they, oh, well, you doing the worst. No, y'all doing the worst. No, y'all doing the word salad. Like, bro, we sitting here talking about a specific group of people, and here you go talk about the Ilu and the Alu and the, like, bro, what? Come on, let's get into it, bro.
That sounds real good. That sounds real good. And you are the one who's tossing up a word salad because the debate or the subject matter at hand is the Bible.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do about no cultures, no Bronze Age, no none of that. We're talking about the Bible in the.
Do I have to remind y'all in the beginning of him coming up here, the first thing he said was he judged the debate as a biblical scholar, a Hebrew biblical scholar. What scholar you know that studies any culture that don't deal with their language, that doesn't deal with the way they live during that time, that doesn't deal with their pottery? What scholar you know that don't deal with that? And here he go talking about, oh, I'm a Hebrew biblical scholar, but yet you don't deal with any artifacts of the Hebrew Israelites? That don't make sense. But you know why? Because it showed that it's not him. That's why. It showed that his people don't come from there. That's why. Let's get into it. Man, they terrible, man. They like y'all know my words. They terrible. Yo, I can't. It's laughable, bro. It's really laughable. Like, we're literally, and it's laughable for them because they're the ones that take the Bible literal. And so if you're coming as a Hebrew biblical scholar by scholarship and by belief, as he said, then when you read this, my man, I'm gonna drop the link. I will, bro, when I'm done, bro. When I'm done. When you read this, I ain't even hit 21 minutes, bro. I ain't even hit an hour yet. But when you read this, if you think this is literal, then you're supposed to be trying to tie this to something historical. And when you tie this to something historical and you can't find something, and then you just feel like because of my belief, I can insert that there. Nah, bro. That's crazy. No, I don't deal with the anthropology. Then how can you call yourself a scholar? I don't deal with the language and the historic. How can you call yourself a scholar? This is crazy work right here, bro. That's why they laughable.
Biblical text. In the biblical text, what is it referencing? And so that was just one of the cases.
Right, but that's the point right there. So the Bible, that's why I said the Bible is basically the birth certificate of what's going on here, right? Because those traditions are the traditions that are in the Bible. That's why when he kept asking me, well, can you give me and this was exposing him, can you give me a text where we can see Yahweh inserted in the Bible? That is a biblical text, literally, quote unquote, the Bible. That's the MVP to cut all fucking night. And I gotta say that because it's like that right there exposed the cherry picking of these brothers, bro. The Bible is primary when it suits them. But now, when we dealing with the mixing of the culture and how they intervene, now the Bible don't suit that. No, the Bible, you can't use the Bible for that. The Bible ain't primary for that. What? How are you sitting here telling me you are a Hebrew biblical scholar by academics and by belief? And when your books say one thing and you don't agree with it, you can just back up and say, no, I don't agree with that. That's crazy. This is how you expose these frauds, bro. Frauds. Crazy. Let's get it.
Right. So that's why I said you lost, because when we're talking about the biblical, and like I said in the chat, if you
now he's stuck. Playing remix on the mic.
Had it, I would have gave it to you. Like I'd be like, yeah, man, Humble did that, man. Humble brought his A game. But me, like I said, it's not being biased. It's just the fact that I read the biblical text. I mean, the quote unquote biblical Hebrew.
Hey, yo, I forgot about this shit. See. Oh, what? No, put this back. What's going on here? What just happened there? I don't like that. I don't even know what. All right. So then, where the video at? Oh. Why the fuck my screen just do that? Hold on, y'all. Make this bigger. Load this down. Hold on, King J. I'm gonna drop the link right now. My screen just did some crazy shit. Me being too fancy, I swiped the damn video away. But yo, these Hebrews are laughable, bro. I read the biblical text, okay, but you don't understand the culture that's in the text. That's kind of weird. Let me get this video back up for a sec. I dropped it in a link. King J. Crazy stuff, bro. Let me get this back up here real quick. Oh, that ain't what I need. Go back. All right. Let me share this again. Hit the link. Hit the link, King J. All right, this is sharing. All right, yeah. All right, let's get back to it, man. Man, again, these guys are laughable, bro. Crazy. All right.
If you had it, I would have gave it to you. Like I'd be like, yeah, man, Humble did that, man. Humble brought his A game. But me, like I said, it's not being biased. It's just the fact that I read the biblical text. I mean, the quote unquote biblical Hebrew. You know what I'm saying?
Now that's my thing. Really fast. When you say it's not about you being biased, but you read the biblical Hebrew. Do you read it as a Hebrew, or do you read it as a scholar that's studying the Hebrew culture?
I read it as a scholar because before I had to fully embrace it, I had to put it through the. Hold on, brother. You don't know. You don't know the trials I went through. You don't know the trials I went through just to fully take on and say, yes, this is the truth. See, I had to put it through the ringer. You see what I'm saying? I had a lot of time to actually sit down and really scrutinize.
So now he want to try to give us a sob story of how he came into the truth, or the quote unquote his version of the truth. He want to give us a sob story of how he became a Hebrew Israelite. And sob stories are nice, bro, but they don't compare to academic scholarship. I don't care what kind of story you had with, oh well, I had to put the Bible through the ringer and now is everything becoming true. Nah. Get that bull crap out of here. I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear it. Let's get it, man.
The text. A lot what y'all brothers do, y'all, I done read all the other books, you know what I'm saying, that, of skeptics on the Bible. But when I go back and I look and I read for myself, it's not saying what they saying. You know what I'm saying? And it's proven to be truth in its own right. So
hey, I got a question. Let me come on when I say this. 13 people in here. Put a 1 in the comments if hey, y'all hear every Hebrew Israelite say this, bro. Every Hebrew Israelite say this. Hey, man, everybody, when they read the Bible and read books on other people and they did this, but when I read it, it's something special there, man. It tells the truth, man, when I read it. What I get from it. It ain't saying what all these other lies and stuff are saying. It tell the truth when I read it, man. Yo, if you don't get your holier than thou tale, man. Hey, yo. These guys is crazy.
I put the Bible through its scrutiny, even when it comes even down to the Hebrew itself. So I could say as a scholar, you see, not just a believer, quote unquote believer. You know what I'm saying? It's because the belief comes into what I can prove, what I can put through the fire, what's gonna come out, you know, burnt, and what's gonna come out pure and shiny. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's not being biased. It's not because I'm a quote unquote believer, but it's the fact that when we actually go into the text and we understand what the words is conveying, you know, what you're saying is something totally different.
All right, really fast. I want you to understand the moment you say as a believer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're now putting yourself in a worldview. So now when you read this book from this worldview as a believer, you're not thinking about how an anthropologist now reads this book. Y'all are not looking at it the same way. You're not looking at this the same way as a textologist is reading this book. You're not looking at it that way. These people who's reading this text, they're looking for doublets. They're looking for certain things that match with certain histories. They're looking for these things. When you're reading it, you're already coming with the presumption that what's in the book is true. So You're not looking for what's not true. Exactly. So that's the whole point. That again, this is why they're so funny, yo, when they come and they talk about, oh, I'm a biblical scholar. Ain't no way you're a biblical scholar, because if you and a believer, you're a biblical scholar and a believer. Ain't no way you're a biblical scholar and a believer. Because the stuff that you're going to find out by being a biblical scholar is going to make you look at the tradition and be like, what the? How in the world? These people were out of their minds. So, like, yo, once again, bro, this is why these people are laughable, bro. This is why. Oh, and then the belief goes into what I can prove and what I can't prove. It. You can't prove the Exodus. And your belief won't allow you to accept that. So now you got to insert a falsality into history that now aligns with your belief. And you try to do it in an academic way that, oh, okay, well, now it sounds good to the people, so now I can feed it to the people. Because now they can't fact check me because I know what I'm talking about. Nah, bro. That's that flim-flam, bro. That's that flim-flam I be telling y'all they be doing. Crazy. Y'all got to be careful with that, man. So when these people are reading, it's easy to point out what's true and what's not true. Because this is literally what they get paid to do. You coming at it as a religious person. Say something to you, humble.
Yo,
watch this. Why you try to derail the whole conversation?
Because you totally up here misrepresenting everything I just said. I told you to put this. I'm telling you that what I'm saying about what you put forth in the debate, I'm telling you as a biblical Hebrew scholar.
He said this, fam. Let me where my thing at, bro? Come on, where my laughable joints at? I got you, King J. I got you, King J. My man King J can't even let me have a good time up here with the people. He tried coming intervene all the time. Hey. Yo, I be saying you get your head busted a lot, bro. You gotta chill out, bro.
You ain't never seen me get my head busted.
You gotta chill out, bro. I be saying you get your head busted, bro. How you be out here if you trying to call me out and you can't even get through my pit bulls yet, bro?
Capone, Didi Capone, he running. He ran off from the debate. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to bust her head on this.
Let me say, let me tell you, let me on my behalf, man. That's my apologies, man. You right. You right. That's a bad look. That's a bad look on man. We brought that man to the act to be a warrior. Hold on 1 second. My dogs. Hold on 1 second. Let me go let my daughter in.
Oh, go ahead, Sam. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. I had to go
Oh,
let him
that should come first.
real quick. But what it do, King J? But yeah, man, you gotta get through my little pit bull. But I don't know. Listen, Capone, he always been, wanna duck off or whatnot. We gotta look. My man,
And
he
he,
got. I heard y'all got on him the other day too.
and he did it on 2 platforms too. So it's like that's kind of like, come on now, bro. You playing
Yeah,
games. Like we take this shit serious. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
So
yep.
yeah, I mean, but you up next? I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like
King J, you do not want this smoke, bro. And
you
then
up, you up.
no, listen. I got something. I got something special for you, King J. Just be on the lookout, bro.
Mm,
You
mm.
think you safe, bro. You
You,
think
get
you safe. I see you in them comments. You think you safe.
you throwing me a party?
Listen, my man King
Ah,
J down there talking about y'all see your AI presentations. Hey yo, let me explain
man.
to you. One thing I know how to do is research. See, I'm from the old school.
Yeah,
I
but
was doing this way before we had anything such as an AI. So unlike
one.
a lot of y'all who look for AI to give y'all the answers, what I do is
Mhm.
I input information in AI. Right? So you utilize that as a source. You don't utilize that as an answer. You don't go in there, oh, you gonna give me the right answer or the wrong answer or something. No, 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 no. Now,
Okay.
here, this is easy because AI the same thing as Google. If you're gonna go and ask Google anything, you might as well ask the AI.
Hmm. But it seemed like you had. It seemed I said that because I saw your script, your closing script, and it seemed it was guiding you and telling you what to. You know what I'm saying? I felt like you just created the. I felt like you
No,
told
I
Chat
did that
GPT.
because I already knew what he was gonna say. Like I told him from the jump, I said, "Yo, don't bring anything you brought." He said he gonna do it. I said, "Yo, don't do it." Okay, I challenged his hand. I already knew. I just didn't like free forming. Like even like this, you have to have something to go off of, so
Right.
you don't lose your train of thought. So all that
Hmm.
was the easy part, bro. You keep saying that L was a title, bro. We already know that L was a proper name way before it ever became a title.
Can we talk about and see? I wanted to talk about that a little bit more because, remind you, me and Kasai had this debate. Him and Star had this debate, and since then, I've discovered a little bit more information that could probably, share a little bit more light in regards to the El and Yahweh type of Yahweh thing. I found in the Amorite text, and this is where I see everything in regards to Hebrew, because Amorites are Hebrews. So they like to come along and make you think that the Israelites are some different new, um they're different. No, they're just they're part they're Hebrews. They're literally Amorites. So they have the same everything. So when I look in the Amorite lexicons, I see Yahweh El, literally Yahweh El, Yahwhi. I'm like, oh wait, that sounds like Yahweh, right? Literally means the same thing. So I found the phrase El, do Yahweh Sabbat, El who creates, right? I find Yahweh El. I mean Yahweh Elu. In the Amorite sources, I find Yahweh Elu, which means El causes to exist. It just seems as if um, the word Yahweh. So I mean, you really gotta just erase your mind of what you think you know and just you start all from scratch. The nameless Naminas play a big part in this, because the nameless Naminas are deities that don't have a name. They are the forces, and they describe what the deity actually does, not the name of the deity. The title Yahweh seems to be a descriptor, a verb. It seems to be a verb, not the actual name of the deity. I will argue that my studies show that El really
So let
doesn't
me
become
ask
a
you, okay?
hmm?
You said the Amorites were Hebrews.
Amorite. So Hebrews are Amorites.
So can you show me that the Amorites were Hebrews? What
Yeah, that's
source
not. Yeah,
tells you
that's not.
the Amorites were Hebrews?
Yeah, that's not anything that's hard to prove. The Hebrews will basically be. Let me hold it. Because all of those groups that are Northwest Semitic, they're the same thing. They have the same linguistic cognates. They're gonna have the same ethnic stock.
Right.
So
But that doesn't
he,
make them Hebrews.
it does, because
It
that's
does
hold on.
not.
Let me give you, because
It
that's a
makes
small.
them Canaan. It makes them Canaanite. It
Well,
doesn't make
see,
them Hebrews.
and then that's why I want to debate you, because you keep misusing the word Hebrew. I mean, they're misusing the word Canaan. Canaan does not exist until the Canaanite tribe actually migrates into the the uh, land of the Amaru. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if I ask you a simple question, what was the name of Canaan before? What was the name of Canaan before it was Canaan? What would you say?
You just said it.
The land of the Amaru, right? So
No,
why
no,
can
no, no, no. Kanani.
Kanani
Kanani
is
was a
Kanani is
land.
Kanani is literally is the same word as Canaan.
Right.
It's just the name of the people. So if you're saying that the land of Canaan existed during a certain time period, I'm simply asking you, what was the name before it became Canaan?
What was the name of? Yo, we went over this before. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I'm asking you now.
I'm trying to
Because
remember.
I'm making a
I
point
know I'm trying to
by,
get my recollection. I'm trying to get my recollection.
I just told you.
Because we went
And
over here because it was because you was
we,
talking about these people. What was the name of the people? The Amu
I just
something.
told you. So the name of the land was called the Amaru.
The Amaru.
So in
Yeah. Oh
Acadia,
my gosh. I wish I
so
knew
in
where
Acadia,
this conversation
so
is.
just follow me, because
Go
I ain't
ahead.
gonna tell you nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
In Akkadian, it's called Amaru. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, in Sumerian, it's called Martu. Right? It simply just means Westerner or land of the West. Right? It became synonymous with these nomadic tribes called the Amu. Right? Which came from. So there are three waves. Right? There are
Oh, that
three.
was our debate.
There
Was
was our debate.
Canaan named what was the landmass of Canaan named Canaan when the Amu got there or not? That
Hmm.
was the
That was
debate.
the debate. Hmm. Yep.
Yo, I
And we still
remember,
can.
bro.
And you still
It's
can get
coming
it.
back now.
And you
Nah,
still can get
bro,
it.
you wrong
So,
on that because the Amu was already the land of Canaan was already a land during that time.
but it wasn't named Canaan, so it was called the Amaru, the land of the Amaru. So my
No,
no, we just
no.
established that before it was Canaan. What was the name? Amaru.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get to because I can't remember
MR2.
the full thing. Oh my gosh. I'm mad I forgot about
So
that.
follow me. So follow me. There are three waves of Amorite expansions into the Levant. The first wave is the wave where they distinguish the land as the Amaru. So even in the Egyptian text, Akkadian text, Sumerian text, it's not going to say Canaan or Canaan. It's going to say the land of the Amaru or the land of the Martu, right? It's not until the second Amorite expansion or wave that comes from Mesopotamia into the Levant that we have the Kanani, right? And I actually can show them migrating with the Beni Yamina, right? Which I'm arguing as the tribe of Benjamin from Haran into the Levant.
See, look, this
So
would make you the Hebrew, bro. Look, he trying to disguise the.
I'm not,
Listen, I
brother.
get that.
I'm making an
Listen,
argument
ain't
that
no way you trying to tell them they the tribe of Benjamin. How they
no,
the tribe of Benjamin?
I'm trying to tell them that they're Amorites. They're Mesopotamian Amorites. So they a lot of them probably going to disagree with what I'm with the primaries that I'm showing because it makes them literally Amorites. They like to distinguish themselves. Well, the Bible says the Amorites or the Canaanites. How can we be, brother? That's totally different than what history says, right? The biblical narrative and the historical records are two different things. So let's not get that twisted. I'm talking about historically what it says, and it says that it's more or less of a cultural memory, right? In the Bible of giving the recounts of the Amorites expansion from Mesopotamia into the Levant. It's quite simple. Like I have all these primaries, and I'm waiting for somebody to really jump out there so I can just bust their head with
Nah,
them.
bro.
But I'm giving you the
Right.
Jews. So the I found the Kanani tribe in Mesopotamia referred to as the Habaru. They call them the Binyamin, which is
But the
Benjamin.
Hebrew are not Hebrew either.
Brother, listen. All of these, you getting hip up off the word. Literally, I can make a argument that the word Hebrew really just is a word that is describing the Hebrew people. Well, not even Hebrew people. Let's just say um, nomadic people who are. They describe them as people who don't cook their meat. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a shelter, permanent shelter, and
They
they're just
describe them as a Semitic people.
not
All
necessarily. Well,
Semitic
no,
people are not Hebrew.
well, hold on, brother, because the people who are doing the describing are also Semitic people. So
Right.
the
All
difference,
Semitic people are not Hebrew Israelites.
brother, Semitic speakers. They
All
Semitic.
Semitic speakers are not Hebrew Israelites.
Okay, well, that's the straw man, humble. That's not has
What?
nothing to do with what the point that I'm making. Follow the point, brother, that I'm making before we even go somewhere else. All of these are Semitic speakers, right? I'm talking about the kingdom of Mari and all this. The difference that we're pointing out is that we're talking about the people who are in the city, the elite, opposed to those who are not, right? And so the Hebrew, the patriarchs of the Hebrew would probably be these nomadic people's tribe, one of the people who aren't in the city, and they are describing them as Habaru, right? So we have the Kanani being described as Habaru. We have the Binyamin being described as Habaru, all in in northern Mesopotamia, uh, about 1900. In the Mari tablets, about 1800 BC.
Time out. What time period do you say
1800
Canaanites
BC.
on? Huh?
So my argument, so from the primary sources, it shows if we go from the Mari tablets that's referencing the Kanani as an ethnic group, not as a toponym, right? But as an ethnic group, then I would suggest that they migrated from Haran, northern Mesopotamia, into the Levant. They're still in the highlands, right? Once they come from the highlands into the land that would be known as after them, um, the land becomes synonymous with them. They come down from the highlands, they bring in their whatever rituals, whatever military, you know. Then we start getting we get the proto Canani language, the proto Canaanite language, right? And it spreads from there. After my argument is that after sometime around 1200 BC, we probably have something called the 4.2 kilo year. The 4.2 kilo year, I really can't explain it what it is, But we would notice in history that every time we have this 4.2 kilo year, we have drought and mass migration, right? Drought and mass migration. So I'm arguing that about 1300 BC, when we see this migration, that this is when we see the collapse of the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age collapse that you like to talk about so much. When we see this collapse, the people who were in power, they disappear, right? And the people who wasn't in power, these Kanani, we start seeing new city states rise up after the. So that's why I associate them with the Iron Age group, right? And so they become a nation. We see,
Let
and
me
it's not,
ask
it
you
is
this.
not.
Do they become a nation before or after the the migration from the people of the South? We talking about the Israelite people. Oh no, because you talking about Canaan. Never mind. Disregard that answer. You
Well, see,
talking
we
about
talking about the Israelite people, but I'm not referring to them as Israelite because they're not a nation at this point. So at this point, they're still the individual tribes. Like
okay. So right. So okay. So now I can ask you this question: do
Mhm.
they become a nation before or after the
Bronze Age collapse.
people come down from the South to the land?
They become a nation after the Bronze Age collapse.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Which means before then, there was no settlement of Israel, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
That right there settles this whole. This is why the Hebrew Israelites are laughable.
Because they don't want to admit their history. Like they act like they just like they got to come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And my sources, and I'm looking at they even down to the I am that I am, the Asher, the Ayer Asher Ayer. That's I'm looking at it right now. That's the freaking Amorite. It's an Amorite phrase. All of this you can find in the Ugaritic. Look in the Ugaritic text. Look at the Ebla tablets, and look in the Mari tablets, the Amorite sources.
But see, here's the thing, and this is the crazy part, and this is why I brought definition to the debate. And within definition, I mean this depth. Let me come up when I say this, because a lot of the history can be because a lot of people just spend so much time on the text, and it's like, bro, while only reviewing the text, you're only getting a small amount of information. The
Mhm.
large amount of information is when you go look at the language families, when
You
you go
gotta, you
look at the
got to
pottery, when
the
you go look
geography.
at
Yes, yes.
exactly. That's
You
when you actually start to really put things together. That's why
make your
when I was bringing these things up, and he's like, "Oh, well, that stuff don't matter." Just like Sapphire just said just now, "Oh, that stuff don't matter." How do that stuff not matter when this is
because
all we're supposed to be looking at
because
when I get it by the
if they
scripture?
really entertain it, it'll destroy what they really want to believe. They want to believe so bad that they don't want to deal with the actual. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say they're not looking for truth because I'm a truth. Like my whole thing is like if somebody tells me something that makes sense, I'm a roll with it and incorporate it into what I got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really all it is. Still sharp and steel. So I mean, if that ain't if you just denying if a brother brings a fact to the table and it's legit, and you dismiss it, then you're not trying to learn
Let me ask you a question, King J. What date would you date the the middle Bronze Age?
oh
What
shit.
date would
What
you
type
give
of
the
mark
middle
nigga?
Bronze Age?
I would say that it ended 1200, 1200 around that time period because we have the from 1200 to 800 BC we have the what is it called uh where they ain't where the Greeks are illiterate and they don't know anything. What the Dark Ages.
Your Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the middle Bronze Age is 2000 to 1550 BCE.
Mm-hmm. And when is it? So when does it end?
It end and start at 1550. And it's 1550. It go down to 1200. Then
Right.
1200 1200
Starts the Iron
starts the
Age.
late Bronze Age.
I would say 1200 would be probably Iron Age. I would start
No,
Iron
12
Age
no,
in the
no, no, no,
Bronze
hold
Age.
on. Not 1200 don't start the Iron Age. I would say 1000 around 1011 that starts the Iron Age because the Bronze Age is 1200 1257 from 1257 to 70 something. That's right there. That was the Bronze Age. That was the collapse. And
Okay.
so,
So if it collapsed at 1200, 1150, then we can start the Iron Age at 1100 BC.
right.
To be
Okay.
safe, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
around that time period, and then pops up Israel. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, well, that date wouldn't work with Hebrew because the murder of Batastella is dated to 1208 BC.
Right. But
So the
here's
collapse
the
would have to
thing.
have happened before.
Here's the
Well, this
thing
is
about
probably the collapse. They're describing the collapse. This is the time period of when of this actually
what's
happening.
up.
Like,
What's up? We got brother Kazad on the panel.
what up, though?
But so
What's going
when
on?
you
Peace and
dealing with
peace.
the Benet Tastelli, right?
1208 BC.
We're dealing with the collapse.
Exactly.
This is something I was trying to explain to Kazad. Kazad made it seem like they was dealing with a history way before the collapse. I'm like, bro, they dealing with that same time. They ain't going nowhere outside of that time period.
So
Oh
it
my
seems about right
goodness.
here that there's a mega. So the drought seems to be about 150 to 200 years old. That happens
Right.
about. So that's why that famine that I was talking about. So it correlates with the Exodus. Like I've never been the person who argued against an Exodus. I've always showed or argued that the history showed that there was a Exodus out of Egypt by Semites, Semitic speakers.
And I will
That's always.
always, and even on that note, I've always argued against an exodus because now I will argue for a small migration, which we clearly
Mhm.
see from a small migration. We don't see an exodus.
Mhm.
We don't see 200,000 people leaving from. We don't see that. We don't see the sheer numbers that the Exodus talk about
Right.
leaving this place. You see what I'm saying? We do see the small migration of the Shashu, but we don't see nothing other than that.
Mhm.
So that's why I push against the Exodus.
Can I get in here real quick?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
we're waiting on you.
Yeah, because it's a few things I wanna ask him, but I wanna point something out to King J real quick. Okay, King J, you mentioned the Maripa Stele, right?
Yes.
So King J, you will say that the date for the Maripa Stele is around 1208 BC. That's
Well,
what
wait.
according to modern chronology, right?
Yes, I will agree with that.
Okay, so last night it is on even on the debate. In the video, I asked Humble. So when did Israel get into the Promised Land? You know the first date he gave me.
What was that?
He gave me 11th to 10th century BCE. That was the first date he gave me. How the hell can Israel be entering the
Mhm.
Promised Land 11th, 10th century BCE when they already are attested there in the 13th century BCE by Merenptah? This is what I mean
Yeah,
by
and then
Humble.
you got to give account for their 40 years in the wilderness, and
And
then
thank you. And
and
this is
all of
what I
that.
asked Humble. Hold on, Humble,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. Let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
And then I tried to express to Humble, Merenptah, and you can go. I show him the scholarship on this.
The
I'm not
son
gonna
of
do it.
Ramses,
I'm
Ramses'
not gonna
son.
do it again. I'm not gonna do it again. I already showed him the scholarship on this. And what the scholars actually, multiple scholars actually point out, those aren't actually all of Merenptah campaigns. Those
Right.
are his dynasty campaigns. So some of those campaigns aren't even really his. Those are Ramesses and his grandfather's
Some of his
campaigns.
father that he finished out in yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
now watch
Exactly.
this,
Hold
King
on.
J.
No, don't try to take away from the point because I'm building the point, Kumbu. I
All
know
right,
you're
come
gonna
on.
get in there, but you gotta wait till I finish my point. Because when we look at the scholarship on the Merenptah Stele, that's not a small little tribal group of people. And if you actually want to get into it, the alignment is that Israel in that stele, the argument with scholarship is Israel in that stele is just as big as Syria, Libya, and the Hittites. When they look at and I showed this to you in on footage before. When they look at the stele, it's two nations, Syria, not Miss Salakia, Hittites and the Libyans. Then you have four city state. I mean, you have four cities, which is go into Noam, Gezer, and whatever. Then you have
Mhm.
two more nations mentioned, Syria and Israel. That's how this shit is lined out in the poem. These are not little small tribal groups of people known as Israel. This is the nation of Israel that they're fighting in the Merenptah Stele. So once
Their
again,
city state.
huh?
I said their city states. They're being referred to amongst the nine bowls. at this point in
But
time.
hold
So,
on, I'm passing to
Right,
you. I'm passing to you.
right,
Hold on,
right.
I'm
Say it
finna
again,
finish.
King J.
I'm finna
Say
finish
it
my
again,
last.
King J.
I'm finna
These
finish
are
my
not
last.
big old tribal nations. What you just say, King J? They're
Oh my!
little
If
city
you if
states.
you would
they would be
if you would
they would
if you would
be
let me
a
finish.
city state. They would be as you know, not it, so the non-bowls are foreign lands, right? Or any enemies of the pharaoh. I mean, that could even be somebody within Egypt itself. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be all foreign, be non-bowls. Kushites are non-bowls. The Hesi groups are, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, so this is no. I
Hold on,
agree.
No, no, I'm
King J, because I
talking to
wanted
the
to, I wanted to
Normans, I
actually
think,
get,
though.
I'm actually want to get to the point on where what I was, I'm finna land. I'm finna land
Yeah.
because I'm not saying this. This isn't Marcus. I know King J said these are city states, bro. I will pull up the book right now, even though I'm at work. The book is on my phone. I can pull up the book right now where they break down the lines of the poem. The four cities that are mentioned is not Israel. Israel is mentioned as being as big as Syria, the Hittites, and the Libyans. Those are
What
empires.
time
Those
period
are
is that?
kingdoms.
Mhm.
In the
So I
Maranpatah,
would, yeah.
hold on. That's in the Maranpatah stele. If you can stop interrupting, if you want me to, I'll just read the scholar quote to you again, if you want. But please stop interrupting. Please. If you want, just say you want me to read the scholar's quote and I'll read it to you.
No, but we
But
agree with that. We don't have a problem with that
no, because
date.
he just thought you said Israel in the Maranpatah state, in the Maranpatah stele, is a city or something. They're not, that's not a city, that's a
When I
nation.
said that, I mean, yeah, it's a nation. They're a nation.
Exactly. The,
They're
the the Israel that they're fighting is the nation of Israel.
mm,
They're in the monarch period when Ramesses depicting them. They have
mhm.
chariots and stuff. So I ask you this: if they're depicting this, if they're fighting the nation of Israel, they're depicting them with chariot forces. This isn't them in their tribal state when they just get there. So the question becomes
What?
when did Israel get there? You're saying what? So humble. I'm gonna read the book. I'm gonna read it to you
So it
real
gotta
quick.
be. So let's talk about it because it has to be within the time period
Hold on
between the
one second,
Oh
King
wait,
J. Let me.
hold on. Let me just get the sentence out. It has to be between the time period of where they're writing the Armana letters to then. Because in the Armana letters, they're not a city state. They're not a nation at that point. They're just Habaru being referred to, at that point. So that's why I say it has to happen after the Bronze Age collapse. This period of time, those who were in power fell, and now we have this new nation, these tribes who have came together and have formed this nation of Israel. So I would argue between 13. So it fits in between the time period of the Soleb inscriptions of 1400 BC, at when there's still tribes and being that's when I would say the Exodus actually is occurring. Um, that time period of the Shatu of Yahweh, where we see them in the Soleb inscription, and with Amen, I wouldn't say Ramses. I would argue Amen. Is Amen Het the third?
Okay. 1 second, real quick. You said a minimum had the third.
Yes.
That's interesting. I want to have that I want to have a little conversation with you on that, King J. You got my number,
Hmm.
but we can talk about that a little later. I want to read
Hmm.
this for you real quick, humble, because you act like I'm making stuff up. Let me read this. This is on the Maranpatah stele. It says this: after the two introductory sentences, we get to two major political entities: the Libyans, Chehenu, and Hatti, the Hittites. These are significant players in the political world of the 19th dynasty. We then find four cities: Pa Canaan, which is Gaza, Ashkelon, Gezer, and Yanoam. They are followed by two more major political entities, Israel and Syria, before we finish off with two closing sentences. So Israel in this context is no insignificant tribal confederation struggling for existence in the hill country of Canaan. Here, Israel is designated as a major power alongside Syria, Libya, and the empire of the Hittites. This is not the picture we recognize from the time of the Exodus, conquest, or Judges. What are you talking about, humble? This isn't
Yeah.
Okay,
Marcus.
it's my
This is
turn.
coming from
Is
the
it my
scholar.
turn?
So once
And
again,
Is it my turn? Hold on 1 second.
I need you to give me a date on when
I
Israel
got
got
you.
there.
I got you. Hold on. So he did all of that talking and did all that ripping around and then try, and he didn't even prove the point that he was trying to prove, bro.
King J, I didn't prove my
Hold
point.
on 1 second.
Where
Hold
we
on. It's my turn. Hold on. I got you, Zod. Yo, was Israel a nation in 1208 BCE by the Neptune?
Yes.
No. In 1208 BCE, Israel was not a nation in the modern sense, but best readings of Meneptah that Israel was a people group in Canaan, not a kingdom or centralized state where he was.
in order to do that, we would just wait. Hold on, real quick, humble.
Hold on, King J. Let me finish. I got you.
My
The
bad.
stele is the earliest widely accepted extra biblical mention of Israel, but the Egyptian word is used determinative for people rather than a city state or territories, right? This is in a Britannica. Okay, what's the stele show? The Britannica stele dates to
Did
around
you?
1208 to 1267 BCE. It says Israel is laid waste alongside place names like Ashkelon, Giza, and Yamon. The scholars commonly note that Israel is marked definitely from those cities, which suggest a population group rather than a political nation with fixed borders or capital. Historical meaning. So, if by nation you mean a state with institutions, capital, and territory, then no. In 1208 BCE, and if in 1208 BCE there is not a nation, you mean an ethnic or social people, then yes, Israel appeared to be a historical record by them. So he's
Okay.
trying to say, hold on 1 second
Let
before
him finish.
and I'm gonna land my plane with this. He's trying to say that these people in 1208, which I am saying they're not a nation, he's trying to say they are a nation, which is
Okay. So
false.
to be fair to Marcus, I mean to Kasai, let me ask you a question, Kasai. Uh, when does Israel have their first king, and who is it?
The first king, Saul.
Is the first, and what's the date? What's the date of Saul?
I will put Saul around the time of the Armana period. I will
So we're
give it
going
a
back to
different date. I would give it a different date, but so to me, that will be
that's going to
around
be the
11.
problem. If you dating him different, let me hold on. Let me see, because that would mean that before Saul they would not be in the nation. Would that be fair to say? If before they had a king, they weren't a nation.
What?
Is that fair to say that before Israel had a king, they weren't a nation? You have to have a king to be a nation, correct? The first king of both, what you say
Uh,
was
uh, so what you
of a
get into
united.
is what's called the United Monarch, or what you call this is not even the United Monarch party at that point. What you getting
Mhm.
at is a monarch period. Just because somebody doesn't have a monarch, they don't mean that they're not there. They don't have that they don't have a distinct culture, and that they're not a different group of people. That they're not a nation. I don't understand that.
Mm.
So
So
let me
people
ask you a
only
question,
hold on.
because
So
hold
people
on 1
only
second. Let me ask you a
people
question,
are
because
only hold on. I got a question so I can
go ahead.
understand King J, so I can understand his point. If you are you saying people are only considered a nation when they have a king over them?
Well, I would argue that before Saul came, that they were basically just decentralized tribal groups, right? I would argue that the
No,
king is
I
what.
wouldn't disagree that they were tribal. You know what I'm saying? But they still belong to a nation. Those tribes come from a nation of people.
Hmm. I would say
Now
that
they're not
they weren't a.
operating. Hold on. What I will give you is they're not operating on one accord. They're in the judges period, so they're operating
So
as
that's the
judges.
point. That's the point that I was trying to get to, because we don't get in Saul's dates. It says 1047 BC, so that would be like they've.
But you said that they weren't a nation. They're still a nation. They're still a nation. They still there. They still exist. Those they still have a culture. They still have a history.
So they were formed.
They still exist.
Mhm. Mhm.
They're still there. You get what I'm
And
saying? That's why I'm like I wouldn't say that they're not a nation. You could get into they don't have a king and they're not united and acting all as one. I'll give you that.
into a centralized group until okay.
And the
But
Bible tell you
so
that. The
you're saying
Bible
they
tell you, hold on, real quick. The Bible tell you during the Judges period, they were doing they weren't all together. They come
right.
together. Saul started to get them all together, and then they kind of separate after Saul death. Some of them follow Saul's son, some of them follow David, and then
You're involved in it.
they get united under David. Then
Hmm.
Solomon come, and then after Solomon they split up again. They go into two kingdoms.
Solomon's about 900 BC, 930 something
Yeah,
All
BC.
but
right. So
me and
question.
King
When
J,
is
hold
the
on,
Amana period?
real quick. Me and Humble got a debate on chronology. So
Yeah,
um
it's really a chronology thing with y'all.
yeah, me and him got a
So,
debate on chronology because I heard you say Amenem had the third. Guess
Yeah,
what? I wouldn't say that's the Pharaoh of Exodus, but I would say he definitely has some Israelites involved.
right there. Yeah, that's the time period that I would give it
I
to
wouldn't
because
see that's why I said me and you can talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Me and you can go a little bit into that, but I definitely see Amenem had the third as being
Yeah.
involved with the Israelites.
all right.
hmm
No question. Let me ask y'all a question. What
Yeah,
time?
after
What
you, can you
date do
please
y'all
answer the
give the
question though?
Amana period? What date do y'all give the Amana period?
Humble, you never answered our question. Our question was, when did Israel get into the promised land? You never answered that. You trying to ask the question, you never answered our question. You showed me some off Google or Wikipedia. That's not a source. That source did not defeat the scholarship I actually brought, which I can give you Egyptologist's name if you want. You want me to start naming
Bro,
Frank Euro and all them that goes
Frank,
into this?
please, dude. It's and
So
this
once
is where we
again,
get into.
you're
But
not giving
anyway,
me a source. Give
I
me
told.
a source.
What do you mean? Give you a source? The archaeology is the source.
No, it's not.
Well, just
What
give us
you
a
just
date.
How
Just
is
said,
give,
so now archaeology is not a
bro.
source?
You just said
So
those are.
now
You just said
archaeology is not a
Israel.
source.
Hey, King J, listen to
King
how he's
J,
trying to
this is
play.
crazy,
King J,
bro.
did he not just try to refute my argument on the Merit Stele with no source?
No,
but
I get. I said the baton. I literally just read you, bro. Hold up.
humble. So give us your date for when you think they came into the land, the promised land. Give us your date of when you think that happened. Because if they're being already in
The
1208
promised
murder
land. What's the
Patasta,
promised land?
so
Talking
1300, like
about
after
you
the
talking
Amana
about
letters.
when they got to the outskirts of Canaan?
Man, this
No, when
man
they
ain't gonna answer one question.
no, when they go into the land of Canaan to conquer Joshua, that time period of when they're going into Canaan to conquer the land to
Who goes
the
into Canaan and conquer what?
Joshua.
No, see that's that biblical. See King J be on that biblical stuff, y'all.
We going by a biblical narrative. We talking about the Bible.
Man, this is
Yo, we
sad,
talking
bro.
about
This is
history.
sad.
We're not talking about the Bible. We're talking about history. That's why I asked the question: what time period do y'all date the Amana period?
1350 BC.
1350 BCE. Now, Kazad said Saul was in the Amana period. What time period do you give Saul?
I don't think he. Well, that I don't think he's. Well, yeah, I don't agree with that chronology. When if he says Saul is at 1350 BC, I date him to 10th century,
Yes.
11th century.
So this is why we can't again, y'all, get out of this biblical. This is why the Hebrew Israelites are laughable. Let me put hey, yo, let me show it real quick, man. This is why they funny, bro. This why they got my man King J up here wrapped up into Joshua. I say, yo, what time out, bro? Don't forget we're talking about history here. History. So when you say, and then he asks, okay, well, when did they come into the promised land? What promised land? When did they meet at the hilltops of Canaan? Yes. 1200 BCE. 1169, 1200 BCE. We don't see them as Israel until after 1208 BCE. Before that, we don't see them. And when they're mentioned as Israel in 1208 BCE, they're not no group of people with oh well we operate like this. No. They were simply nation, they were simply small little city states, scattered little villages.
You see how you just got
He
on your own
terrible,
source?
bro. And then he tried to say Saul
You
was
know
in
when
the
you read your
Amana
own source,
period, and Saul came much later, bro.
bro.
This is the
Bro, you
flip
need to
side.
stop.
Y'all
You know
gotta
when you
watch
read your own
TV,
source,
bro.
it
This is
said
why
that
they
Israel
funny.
wasn't a city state. You know that, right? You know when you read from your own Wikipedia, it said Israel wasn't a city thing. You know that, right? You know what, Humble? Hey, I hope you still live when I get off.
He
'Cause I'm
terrible,
finna
bro.
embarrass you, bro.
Yo, listen,
I
I'm
hope
here
you
with it.
still
I'm
I
here
hope
with
you
it.
still live when I get off. I'm finna have
I'm
to get
here
off.
with it.
If you still live when I get off, I'm
These
finna
brothers
embarrass
are
you.
laughable,
Y'all got to
bro.
I'm
get to
finna
our
embarrass you.
chronology together, though. Y'all got to figure out where y'all chronology gonna be at because it's gonna be between
That's his
1400
chronology.
BC.
KJ,
Yeah, I got
listen. Man, you've been up here. Hold on, KJ, listen. Man, you've been up here for about 30 minutes talking chronology, have we not?
We still in it, and we still in it. We all
Hold
talking
on
about
one
the same
second.
time
Watch this.
period
No, I'm
still.
talking about before Kazar got up here. Man, you was up here for about 30 minutes talking chronology,
And
correct?
you was on point. Yeah.
And we agreed with damn near everything that we was talking about, correct?
And humble, our point of where we stopped was right here. So now we dealing with the time period. So Kasad is saying,
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure out what y'all. So it's really just so whether they're city states or a nation at this point really is not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? They're there. You know what I'm saying? So what is the contention at this point? So we got them. We got Israel
He
there.
is saying, even last night when we got to that, he has a contention that we can find Israel as early as the Middle Bronze Age.
But well, that is the Middle Bronze Age.
No, that's not the Middle Bronze Age.
That's the ending of the.
That's the late Bronze Age.
It ends 1150 BC. So the middle would be about 1300,
No, the Middle Bronze Age is 2000 to 1550 BCE.
1550. And he's suggesting that they were a nation then? No,
Yes,
not between
that's what
50.
he's saying.
Well, because the minor letters is 1350 BC, and they're not a nation at 1350 BC.
That's the point. But now here's the thing about that. The thing about that
So it got
is,
to be between 1350 BC to
hold
1200
on one
BC.
second. Hold on one
That
second.
150 years.
So this is why I had to stop y'all conversation, because what they'll do is they'll drag you into the Bible. So now you're
Well,
talking
humble, y'all
about
was discussing the
biblical
Bible for the
events.
past 10 minutes and drawing
Hold on
information
one
from it.
second. Hold on one second. I got you. I'll let you speak as well. But then, so now when you're speaking about the Bible, when you start speaking about Joshua and things of that nature, because these are not historical characters, you can throw them anywhere you want.
Well, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to
I know you're
use
not trying
biblical
to do that,
chronology because y'all
but
did have a conversation about the Bible and Egypt, and I would say that they're tied together. If one of them's off, the other's off.
the
If
point
Egypt
is,
timeline is off, then so is the Bible's. You know what I'm saying? If the Bible's timeline is off, so is Egypt's because they're tied in together. Like the biblical, the Egyptian pharaohs in the Bible date correctly, right? To our, you know what I'm saying? To what
yeah.
according, yeah.
I asked him about that last night too, King J. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up right here. Right? So he said, he don't believe
I damn
that
near
the
would
dates
argue
for the
that they use.
pharaohs is correct. But
I would
watch
damn,
this, King J, real fast. Watch this. But I asked him about that last night. I said, okay, because he said the chronology, he said Egypt, the timeline on Egypt was off. I said, okay, according to what? He was so scared to answer that question.
well,
According to what? Like, what are we comparing this to?
new discoveries. Like for instance, like and I found this out with the just researching information with the Capone debate that never happened. That once information gets into textbooks and stuff, and then say at that time is true, they put it in a textbook. Then a new archaeological discovery or find is discovered 10 years later. It's going to be hard pressed for them to recall all of those school books and textbooks and get that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of times they just
Yeah.
let it rock for real. You know what I'm saying? So um, I don't know. I don't know.
Humble, I got a question, bro, because I missed the show last night.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, who had won the debate?
It was tied.
Oh, okay.
Y'all too?
Yeah, it was tied.
I figured it was.
Which that's why I was going back over tonight, because I don't understand, bro. Number one, this is why I brought up the Bronze Age collapse. That's why I hammered it down. But he now again he want to have a chronology debate.
What is the title of the debate? What's the title of the debate?
We going out our new title of our debate. We gonna get into that.
What's the title? What's the title that y'all tied on?
Oh, the title we had was the Canaanite god El and the biblical god Yahweh the same God?
Yes.
And this
Yes.
is why I hammered down on the
Yes.
Bronze Age collapse, because this is
Who
where
took
we
who
see
took who
those two
said yes?
gods
You
merge. Yeah,
you said
I
okay.
said
Well,
yeah, we're merging.
I would have gave it to you. You should have just looked up my debate with me and Kassad, because that was my argument in his debate.
That's what I was saying. Time out. But that's what I was saying about y'all. We had some, because you were saying we didn't have similar ones. I was like, no, we do. I said the only difference is we're taking different stances, and I took the stance I took because I know that he's going to now have to go against, and again, just like Sapphire tried coming, I'm a biblical scholar. He's now going to have to put his quote unquote scholarship to the test and be honest, and now say, oh, well, when we see El and we see Yahweh in the Bible, they don't associate those two to the same God, although they wasn't at first. See, he can't do that.
Hey,
He
Humble,
got
can
to
I get in
stick
here
to,
real
oh,
quick?
well, El was always a title.
Can I
It
get in
was
here real quick? Real quick. I am at work. I'm finna get up out of here. I just wanted to jump on real quick because I wanted to give King J, like I said, me and King J disagree, but I gotta get a brother his props when he states something that's correct. King J just try to give you a jewel. You talking about something I was scared to answer is not according to what, because your answer is based on a false premise. It's not according to who, or according, I mean, in comparison to what? It's in comparison to Egypt chronology itself. Egypt chronology itself is incorrect. As King J just try to help you, there has been several discoveries that turns Egypt's chronology upside down. But because the scholars.
Oh, she hit high bar. Oh, yeah, high bar.
Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
My bad. But because the scholars don't want to undo their Egyptology books and all that, they will have to rework it. They just ignore it and try to sweep these problems under the rug. Which King J, I'm surprised he even told you this. He knows a little bit about this stuff. It's several things, and I told you last night, I can give you some sources off the top of my head that is not even hard, but my brother told me not to do that because I give you too much. But I'm trying to warn you, you already accepted the chronology debate. Brother, you're not ready. And I hope you still live when I get off work, because I am
Yo,
at work.
listen.
If you still live when I get off, I want you to actually answer some questions. I'm going to hurt your feelings, brother. I'm trying to tell you.
I answer all the questions, nigga. You the one around here trying to duck traffic. Go ahead, though. Yo, I don't want you getting in trouble at work, though, Brody. We'll see you when you get off.
Yeah. If you still on when I'm on, I'm gonna come rock with y'all, bro. But
All right.
yeah, man, hey, it's gonna be bad for you. It's gonna be bad for you. But hey, peace, man. Peace and blessings to all y'all.
All
I'm
right,
gonna catch
Brody.
y'all a little later.
Peace.
Wrong.
Go ahead, get in. We're gonna let Gideon say something, and then I'm gonna run a commercial.
All right, for sure.
For sure. Appreciate it. All praises to the Most High in the name of Yeshua. Yeah, man. I was pretty much just listening to what King J and Kasai was saying, because they pretty much on with what I see from the story. But yeah, humble, like what I see a lot of people do, they would engage in the biblical conversation and the biblical narrative, and then when they get, I don't know if they feel jammed up or they feel like they're being led a certain way, they just abandon the whole conversation and say, well, ain't none of it real anyway. But for the last 10 minutes, you was, what I'm saying, having a biblical discussion. So, you kind of got to tighten that up, bro.
Not real fast. Okay. So a biblical discussion in relation to something that we're discussing is historical.
Right.
So when we're doing that, okay, but then we can't now go off the tangent and then talk about, like, when he brought up Joshua. I'm like, bro, where that's at? Where can we go and find any history of that?
No, you was asking when Saul was made king, and
no, that's way before that. When I told King J, I said chill, because he got into talking about Joshua. They started getting deep, and they used to, oh yeah, well, when this happened in the Bible, I'm like, whoa, because when you do that, now you gotta go, okay, well, with this happened in the Bible, now can we find this? We can't find that, so now we can't add this into the archaeology that we found. Brother Ashe in the building, what it do, Brody?
What's up, bro? Listening to these Hebrew guys just keep on scamming and flamming and doing anything they can, bro.
Hey, you already know, man. They gotta keep the lie alive, man. They gotta keep the lie alive, man.
I was sitting here looking at your backdrop, and I'm thinking about like we are the 12 tribes of Israel, but then these the same guys who try to jump in Africa and validate they Israelite claim through African tribes.
Mm.
So my new question is, are these guys double tribe, triple tribe guys? And is that, can you do that? Like that's strange to me. So you the tribe of you the tribe of Benjamin and part of the Akan. And you know, like, it's too much. It's way too much. What are you gonna do?
That's a fact.
Y'all they're pseudo. They fear history, they fear DNA, and they fear reality. So they made this false identity up. And to be honest, bro, it now it's sickening. Now it is sickening. It is. Because they too grown. We got too much evidence in front of us pointing at these people.
Oh, did he drop down?
Hello.
You dropped yourself down, Ashe. Go ahead.
Oh, I dropped down?
No, you good now. I got you.
No, I was just saying, man, like at this point, bro, it's the psychosis that they're going through where, like, I guess maybe because they couldn't find a link who they need to link back via the transatlantic slave trade, we've opted to this pseudo reality, to this false narrative. That's like me saying I'm a Sagiga. Right? Right.
That's a fact.
I'm a Sagiga, bro.
I'm a
just check the bloodline, check the lineage.
Or no, Ashe. You know what they always try to throw on us? Oh, that's like us saying we Commission.
Hell no.
That'd be like me saying it won't be like me saying I'm a Commission, because with me having Sudanese lineage, some people from Kemet actually did move to the Sudan. So I have a better chance of being blood relative Commission than these men will ever have being blood relative Levantine.
I said you stay contradicting yourself, bro.
That makes sense. And I think they figured that out, that they don't have no Levantine blood, so they had to try to get it from West Africa. And that's crazy but you hate Africans, so I never understood that point though. Like, you hate Africans,
Captain Tazar, y'all can say just because you in the land don't mean you of that land.
Of the land.
So the Israelite people, yeah, we was there, but that don't mean we was Southern. We was West African. Like, get out of here.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk, huh?
Just to me, it's just craziness. It's just craziness to believe that this contrary group, because that's what they were, the contrarians. They were a group of people who looked at other, according to their text at least, who had a problem with everybody else. Who had a problem with everybody else was doing. Who believed that these uppity, quote unquote, play they game niggas, that they believe they were black.
I say your name, that's Egyptian, right?
These uppity, no, Ashe is Yoruba.
Yoruba. All right, so let me ask you this: you do you think you know you an Egyptian?
Hell no.
Do you think the Egyptians were part of the slave trade?
No, I know that the Egyptians were Africans, though.
Who do you think the Egyptians are today?
And Northern Africans.
The ones in Egypt?
Spread throughout North Africa, even got some who spread into the Mali.
When you say North Africa, you mean from what, Egypt all the way to Mauritania?
Sudan, Morocco, even
I don't think they never left.
Throughout the Nile, all up and down the Nile.
I would say right there in between the first and fourth cataracts, they never left. I would argue that that's the main reason why they built that Aswan Dam right there and destroyed all of that right there and built that dam, because they wanted to cover up all of the history and all of the stuff that the people that right there. Because I would argue that those were the Egyptians and they never went nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
So it say why you say that you wouldn't disagree with somebody who say that they come from Egyptians.
Come from Egyptians? So
Yeah.
the modern day
No,
Egyptians.
not you, King J.
This is the
I'm saying what King
and
J
this is
said.
the problem, and this is the problem that you trying to create that don't exist. People who subscribe to the Kemetic spirituality don't claim to be Kemetic people. Jabari don't say he
Not at all.
Kamesha. Hold
I'm
on, wait,
not saying.
don't
I'm
cut me
saying
off,
what you
please.
just said. I'm
It
saying what
ain't
you
no
just said.
wait, hold on, wait. There's nobody I know in the conscious community who say that they're a Kamesha.
So you spoke incorrectly then. That's fine if you spoke incorrectly. People sometimes be talking fast and just say
So
things.
how did I speak incorrectly? Gideon, please enlighten me.
You said if a person wants to say that they think the ancient Egyptians they come from ancient Egyptians, you have no problem with that. If I'm not
I never
mistaken,
said
that's what you
that. I
said.
never said that.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you
I
said.
never said that. That would be kind of faulty without valid proof to just adopt a Egyptian identity and say that you're an Egyptian is pseudo without any type of proof of that. That's
Well,
craziness. And every single Hebrew Israelite, you weren't born that way.
so y'all be
You
cosplaying
weren't born
because
that
it's a
way.
lot of
Somebody
Egyptians.
met. Hold on, wait.
It's a lot
Somebody
of
met
Egyptians
you.
that take on that culture.
Somebody met you and told you that you were a Hebrew Israelite. And that's the problem.
That's crazy. That actually happened with me, like real talk. But what I'm saying is, so y'all cosplaying when y'all do all this comedic rituals and all these Egyptian
And
names.
you want
Because
to know what? You want to know what,
When
Gideon?
we take on Israelite names, we're saying that's our lineage. But y'all
And that's
admitting to
pseudo.
basically cosplaying.
That's your lineage,
No,
Gideon?
because there's no
Yeah, I
problem
believe
with
that's my
y'all.
lineage.
I don't have
Hold
a
on one
problem with
second. Let
y'all.
our Shay get it in there, y'all.
I don't have a problem with y'all practicing Judaism. Not
No,
one bit.
I don't practice Judaism.
And this is where the pseudo comes in when they get
This
to
way
say
the
things
pseudo
like
comes
that.
in at.
This is where the pseudo come in real quick.
I don't
Because
practice Judaism. Go ahead.
right. How don't you? We know they do. Yeah, I mean they practice Judaism, and I don't have a problem with you being a spiritual Israelite. With you subscribing to the culture. But when you go as far to tell me that you are a descendant of Abraham, you have Levantine lineage. Now you scamming me, bro.
No,
Flat
it's
out.
a lot of people in Africa to this day with that.
And they got scammed a
Not
long
only
time
in
ago.
America, in the diaspora. It's a lot of black people.
Hold on one second, y'all. What's up? I know I've been supposed to run a little commercial or two, but we be getting it in, y'all. Y'all know how we get it over here in the Titans Debate League. I'm gonna run one commercial, and then we're gonna get back at it, and we're gonna pop it off with Gideon. Let's get it, y'all.
Listen up, Titan family. The Coliseum of Arguments is officially opening the vaults, and this is your chance to win a piece of league history. We're running a massive high-stakes t-shirt raffle, and these are not your average tees. We're talking ultra-exclusive, limited edition, premium custom apparel that you can't buy anywhere else. Once they're gone forever. We're keeping the stakes high and the odds completely in your favor. Here's how it goes down. Tickets are only $2. The limit, $40 or 20 tickets per person to keep the playing field fair. The odds, we're picking a brand new winner for every 20 tickets sold. Think about the math. If you max out your 20 tickets, you are essentially guaranteeing a crowd milestone and forcing a new drawing. The more tickets moving, the more winners we crown back to back. Are you a $3.99 channel member? Then we've already got your back. As a thank you for holding down the foundation, every single $3.99 member is automatically getting one free ticket entered into the raffle. But don't just rely on that one ticket. Secure your stack, maximize your odds, and ensure your name gets called. These custom designs, from the legendary Debate or Die print to the official Titans Debate League emblems, are strictly limited edition. You don't want to be sitting in the chat watching everyone else flaunt their exclusive gear while you missed out over a $2 ticket. How to enter? Open up your Cash App. Send your entry to $Titans Debate League. Put your name/handle in the notes so we know exactly who to crown. The clock is ticking, the tickets are moving, and the next 20 ticket milestone is closing fast. Lock your entries in now and claim your crown. Winners picked this Friday. Are you not entertained?
All All right. Get them tickets, y'all. Get them tickets. Share the live. Subscribe, y'all. Let's get back with it. Go ahead, Gideon.
Yeah, man. So that's basically the point that I'm making, and shout out to the elders in y'all community like Reggie, that's finally after these years, he's providing the understanding on Kemet, and pretty much he's not gonna say it. He has too much respect for Kemet, but just showing that y'all cosplaying. Whereas me myself. I'm claiming a lineage, and not only a lineage, but a spiritual system as well.
But Gideon, how
Oh,
can you hold on? How can you claim the lineage, but you don't even believe in DNA? How can you prove lineage if you don't even believe in DNA? Tell me that.
I never say I don't believe in DNA.
Okay, so a lot of Israelites don't believe in DNA.
all
So
right.
No, what I would say is, you know, unlike the other sciences that we have, like you can pull up a primary, you can study it, and you can come to a different conclusion than say, for instance, a David Falk or a Wallace Budge, because you're looking at the same primary evidence. You might not have the same training, but you're looking at the same material. Whereas with DNA, we all know we're just repeating something that somebody wrote, so we regurgitating it.
Yeah,
I
this
say
book.
that I say we don't understand. Well, I'm gonna say they don't understand what they're looking at. That's why it's always changing. So
All
I
right.
do believe in DNA, but it's faulty in the way that they present it.
but if you
All
if you
right.
need
Hold on
a
one
DNA test
second.
for
Before you
your
get in
child,
there.
do you agree? Do you
What it
believe it?
do? What it do? What's
Yeah,
up?
that's
Hold on one
that
second.
right that right there
Before y'all go
is
back and forth,
provable.
Brody. Hey, yo, before y'all go back and forth, hold on one second. We got brother Psalm called to the panel. What it do, Brody?
Let me tap, respect to the yo. The young
Hotel.
scholars is banging in the building
Peace.
tonight, yo. They
You
banging in the
already.
building tonight. Oh my god. Can't really cosplay Kemet
It sounds like you in a
because
doo bro.
yeah, I'm in my truck, I'm driving. You can't really
Oh,
cosplay
safe
Kemet
travels,
because
bro.
it's African. So
Thank you.
when you say cosplay Kemet, you don't make sense because you can't cosplay something you're a derivative from. I would have to dress like a European to cosplay. So even though my brother Saber Reggie may use like those types of statements, he's more talking about the practice. When you talk about the practice of being a Shinsu or a Kemetic, that's what they told you to do. Which is why you see Persians go to Egypt and try to be like the Egyptians. They want to be Shinsu. You see Greeks go to Egypt and they want to be like the Shinsu. You seen Israelite in Egypt and you wanted to be like the Shinsu when you came out talking about give us what we had in Egypt, right on Mount Gilgal. Give us, he said, Aaron said, give me your earrings and I'll make a calf of gold.
Made them half
So
to her.
yeah, so you can't really say cosplay Egypt. That's a spiritual system for real, which they wanted the whole world to embrace and take on, which most of the world embraced and took on, including your culture. But
Yeah.
when you talk about us being affinity of ancient Egypt, you have a conglomerate of Africans that got together to make Egypt in the first place. It starts with the Nahesi groups from the south.
Mm-hmm.
Egypt was inhabited at 700,000 BC from the south.
Nap the plier like a motherfucker.
Yep, dealing with
Hello,
Cassetti.
that's the difference. When you
Nah,
claim
so
to
so
make
I'm making that comment to people like Isaiah King J, who say they don't derive
But
from
you
the
can't
Egyptians.
make those comments
They
to
say they
people
don't
like I
derive from
say
the
King
Egyptians
J.
at all. So, and a lot of the people from the conscious community also believe that. So, if you
No, but
believe that you
this
don't,
is what I was
if
trying
you
to
believe
tell
you
you,
don't
bro.
derive from the ancient Cometians, you definitely cosplaying.
My
But what
my
I
my
tell
my
Like
you,
the first.
ancestry
a
my
God
ancestry
hold on,
comes
wait.
from
spirituality is
Let
called
me say this
Egyptian
real quick.
spirituality. Yoruba spirituality is a derivative. This is why we find so many affinities. And we know we can find the affinities because I had to point this out on my brother's show. The term Shango, which is a priest, Shango, you find that all through Africa. You know what that term is? It's a Zulu term. I was a Zulu term making this way all the way to Yoruba, to Ifa, to Nigeria, to Cote d'Ivoire, to the Mali people, to Ghana, Senegal, and the Akan use that word.
That
They
reminds me of
shouldn't
it. That
have
reminds
it
me of the
Hold
if
on,
they
Isango.
King
never
J.
met each
Hold on,
other at
King
all.
J. When he
So if
at
they
when
met
he
each other at
when the
some point in
Hold
time,
on 1 second, Assam Ka. Hold on 1 second. When Assam Ka finish up, we gonna move to Assad. Then I'm gonna introduce Omar.
Oh, sorry, real quick. That just brought my mind to about the
Hold on 1 second, King J.
Ashango
King J,
bond.
hold on,
Go
Brody.
ahead.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
hold
Go
on,
ahead.
hold on. Assad, you finished?
Yeah, I don't hear
I
him.
was going to land the plane. So
Go ahead.
there's no way those people could have met or could not have met if they never heard that word before. And all of a sudden, all the priests around the continent are Shango something. So this is not something that you can lie about. We already know Africans in different nations say, "Hey, that's us back there. That's us back in the day." All the way to the point, Sheikh Ed Joke shows you the wild language, damn near word for word, with the ancient Medu language. And there's a few languages like that. So
Right.
you would have to bring evidence. You can make a claim. Where's your evidence at, brother?
No, I was just
Go
saying,
ahead,
like for
Ashay.
people like
And then
Shay and
Hold
King
on,
J,
King.
they
King,
would
okay,
hold on
disagree
a
okay,
with
second.
you.
Go ahead,
you keep
Ashay.
saying that, and you
They
keep
would
saying
disagree
that,
with
but
you.
people like
I guess.
Ashay, people like Ashay. Let
Bro,
me
you
teach you
just
something.
said it, bro. You just said you don't
Hold
believe.
on. Let him get it
Hold
in,
on,
so
You're
wait,
I
right.
can.
Let's
time
get it
out,
back in
brother.
order. I'm
You
sorry.
don't get
I'm
to
sorry.
paint your you don't get to make your own narrative. Now this is how this conversation took place. Let's put a little chronology on it. What I tell you yesterday when we was at rhetoric and you said something similar. I said the difference between me and you is you can go to that area and you will find people in that area that look like me. You go to that Levantine area, place like Mesopotamia where your boy Abraham at, look at what they left behind. Look at the slight imagery that they left behind. You won't find that. Go to that area today, you won't find that. And that's when you was like, well, how you know the people that's there today is the people who was there then. That's when I hit you with the DNA evidence and showed you that the Arab and Jew population of today shares over 50% of their DNA with the ancient Levantine people. That's how that went. And then when we go into this conversation right here, let's fast forward, right? And he was like, yeah, you say you from the Sudan. Do you believe that the Sudan? Well, how did I answer that? I said, given North Africa where they at, the people of Kemet would have most likely dispersed a little bit more south into the Sudan, right? And could have made up the stock of the people that I am. So, like I said, there's a great chance that I could have the Egyptian DNA. And if it's not Egyptian, like the brother Asar said, and this is where I'm going to end and I'll pass it back to you, it's still African. It's still African. You're not in Africa with this whole ideology of you descend from Abraham, bro. So that's my excuse. That's what I'm leaning on. And can you give me yours?
Again, bro, y'all can't be teleporting y'all
All right,
points,
really
bro.
fast, really
Damn,
fast.
bro.
I real fast. I just want
Get in
10
there.
seconds.
Hold on one
Yeah.
second. Hold on. I'm gonna let you get in there. But let me get brother Omar and we got brother Iman. So let me get them both. Let me get them both in here. What's up, brother Omar Muhammad? What it do, brother?
Yo, what up? Shalom, brother. Humble. Man, shalom to the whole panel, man. How y'all brothers doing?
Peace.
We chilling, man.
Shalom.
Good to
What's up,
hear.
Prince
Good to
Iman?
hear.
Shalom, yeah, man. I'm just listening to it sounds like it's from a layman's perspective, it's just as silly to think you're an Egyptian as it is to think you're an Israelite. If we're talking about according to the Bible. I claim to be a Hebrew Israelite as well for anybody who may misunderstand the statement that I just made. But I'm a realist when it comes to the subject. The realist is when you come to any of these biblical nationalities to try and absolutely say that you're one of them and discredit the other one, there's no validity in that stance. And I'm gonna just say that and drop back off and listen to y'all rocking out.
Most definitely, we
Yeah, man.
appreciate
You know what I'm saying?
I,
So they what they try to do, they try to put a false claim on us Israelite brothers and say that that we cosplaying something that we not. But the thing is, we know for a fact they cosplaying something that they not. Because here's the thing here. Couldn't just anybody walk up into the halls of Kemet, become a priest, and they talk all this meta nature stuff. The average Kemetic person couldn't even speak or read or write the meta nature in the first place. They was damn illiterate, man. So we're not gonna sit here and play these games. You know, they cosplaying something that was
hold on, Omar. Watch this.
that was strictly for a priesthood. You had to be noble. You had to come from a bloodline of priests. You know what I'm saying? And
Now watch this, Omar.
hold on, and just to land my plane right quick, I want to say to even continue anything dealing with the Kemetic priesthood, that there would have to be I won't say necessarily a pharaoh or a Nasut has to be on the throne to even carry the tradition on in the first place. So the thing is, what y'all want to do, y'all plug and play, and then just like what did Jabari say? He reconstructs something. So if y'all want to cosplay it, the only thing you can do is just reconstruct it and hope for the best. Let's get it.
Let me respond to that real quick, Humble.
Before you respond.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to respond to what was said to me.
Hold on one second. I got y'all. So I can ask any brother on this panel right now who deals with the Kemetic language, and they don't even gotta be asked, but I can ask them: is the meta nature a script or a language? And I'm pretty sure that says a script.
Can't none of you niggas read? Can't none of you niggas read meta nature?
I'll let you get it in, Brody. Hold on, I'll let you get it in.
The person that could probably do the closest to it is probably King J.
All right, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I got you. So the reason hold on one second, King J. The reason I said that is because y'all sit around and y'all talk about how y'all now trying to say people cosplay. But just like Asar just came up here and said, this is a spiritual way of life. And just like we've heard since y'all want to throw Jabari Osaze up there, say, you don't have to be Commission to dive into and study this way of life because it's a natural way of life.
That's so pseudo. That's so pseudo.
And so how is that true? How is that pseudo? So
it's pseudo because
hold on, let me ask this question.
Let me get him, Gideon. Let me get him, Gideon.
Asian descent to do yoga?
See, hold on real quick before we get too far out. Do not run, Humble. I see.
Answer the question.
Omar, real quick.
Bring y'all a question when y'all don't agree with something. When somebody bring y'all a logical question, y'all always try to dance around it. You said that's not true. Okay, well, if somebody outside of a tradition can't practice that tradition without being that tradition, then we see a lot of people that practice yoga today that don't come from the Asian descent. So
all that's pseudo. That's not real yoga. That's not not real, man.
Well, we don't got to do that. What we have to do is stand up.
Let me know when I get the floor, Humble.
Hold on, I'm still waiting to respond. Real quick because I want to respond to Omar.
One mic.
I want to respond to Omar's point before I forget it. Before we
and then we got our shit.
But I'm saying, how you gonna respond to Omar point so you won't forget it? I'm still respond to a side point, so I'm gonna forget everything he said.
We going around, brother. We going around. I just got it in my head before I lose it. But to the point that Omar made in the.
I'm gonna tell you the order, King J. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you the order. So we got King J, then we got Ashe, then we're going to get in. Go ahead, King J.
I'm gonna just be 30 seconds.
That's bad.
I got you.
Just to the point that the Omar made and the brother Iman, I think, made. We don't claim descent from Egyptians, right? That's something that we don't do.
So explain it to some
That's just,
context. That's what I say
hold
was
on,
just
brother.
saying
Hey,
that's
yo, you not
wrong.
on the big
Hold
screen. You
on,
shouldn't be
Bro.
talking.
So, in like the point that I say did make, even if we did, we'd still be Africans. You're claiming Mesopotamian descent from some people
Get
who
it.
aren't even on
We're
the
talking
continent.
over him. You
Brother,
get
why
your
do you keep
turn.
interrupting me, though, brother?
Yeah, let
Like,
the brother finish.
y'all are claiming Levantine Mesopotamian descent, if anything, and that's what's crazy to me. I don't have a problem if you rock with the doctrine. So, and even with the brothers talking about cosplay, y'all spent 400 years in Egypt. What was y'all cosplaying in them 400 years? Like, so y'all have more Egyptian history and probably blood in than you really even know if that's the case. But I don't know. That's the group that was killed off in the wilderness in 40 years. But I don't know. I just see it as, even if we look at the thing between Reggie and Jabari, it's you're looking at two different things. Reggie is a historian, Jabari is a priest. So, and that's where they have the issues from, as far as like, but I don't think either of them say they have lineage or we descend from Ramsey's bloodline.
So you just said you derive from them. Which one is it? But y'all be see when a
No,
person can
I didn't,
think
brother.
what
I didn't
y'all
say
be
that,
saying.
brother. Now you just
Yeah.
messed up my argument. I said we do not claim descent from Ramsey's bloodline. I don't think Reggie nor Jabari does.
Okay, you say we don't, but not even 2 minutes ago you said we do derive from it. Like which one?
When
Like
did I ever say that we derive from Egyptians?
I think he want to address me. So, like I told you, if you're from Africa, it's a good chance you probably do. So when you talk about Saber Reggie, he got Tunisian blood in his bloodline.
Damn, my fault, my fault. I just get the muting motherfuckers and y'all couldn't even hear me. I apologize, y'all. I'm gonna unmute y'all. I don't want y'all to get too deep into this. I apologize because I know I muted y'all. But oh, he muted his own mic. All right, good. Is the song call you muted too? I'm gonna mute you so you can mute yourself. All right. So I don't want y'all to get too deep in this because I want to bring our Shay up, and I don't want y'all to be just responding to one another.
I think it's not Shay's turn anyway. It just got quiet. I thought everybody was done. So go ahead.
Yeah, man. Like it's crazy as hell, man. It's crazy as hell. For them to even make these statements, it's like they don't understand history. Do they not know that every, and I mean every, foreign ruler back in antiquity adopted the Kemetic culture? They didn't forget it. So even when the Asiatics came in and they took the seat, they adopted Kemetic culture. And if nobody said, "You're cosplaying," when the Southerners came in, adopted Kemetic culture. Your boy Moses learned all the ways of the Egyptians, adopted Kemetic culture. So when you have these type of conversations, and this ain't no shot or nothing, but you can't be talking to brothers like Ashe and King J. Because I don't wear the hair wrap. I don't do the garb. I don't do none of that. I don't go as far as to dress myself like the Egyptians. I respect the culture. Big Ashe on to it, yeah, man. And I show veneration towards them people because that's what we're supposed to do. And they're African. So no matter what, they're family to me. No matter what, they're my cousins, no matter what. But I know who not Mesopotamians. I know who not Turks. I know who not Sumerians. I know who not Phoenicians. I know who not Canaanites. I know who not the group of Asar El, Colt, the group that we see on the Mernetta Stele, because you weren't even a nation yet. I know who I'm not cousins with. And that's the game that you playing. So I ain't got to be directly from that line. Nuh-uh. But we at the family reunion together.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
You.
Hold on. Is that you,
Was it
Gideon?
my
You
turn?
already talking, Gideon?
Well, no, it's Omar. I'll mute back out if it's not my turn.
All right, so we got Gideon, then I got you next, Omar, and then we going to Assam Ka.
Yeah, so that part of the conversation I'm just gonna leave completely alone because it's like an on light, off light. You say you don't derive, then somebody come on say they derived, then you jump out the window and say you derived too. So it's that part, y'all that's that don't make no sense. But to the Israelite brother that was speaking before Omar, I'm pretty much of his line of thought. You can't if you say you derive from Egyptians, you cannot say that Israelites don't have some descendancy in Africa as well. That's where I'm from with it. So I'm gonna ask this question, and when I stop, then whoever can answer it. So from what I say is saying, then tell me which sons of Cush are what we call white people. And I want you to answer that right now, actually. What sons of Cush are white people?
We don't subscribe to your nation.
No, I'm not Cush. I'm not from Cush. Kush is a historically.
No, we don't subscribe to the table of nations ideology.
Kush is a historically ascribed people. Who would you call the Kushites? Are there any white Kushites?
Oh, you talking about the people south of Kemet?
Are there any white Kushites?
No.
Were the Sumerians white?
Yes.
Oh, well, you pseudo then. Yeah, you need to brush up on your scholarship because
you think they was black? You think that Sumerians, you think they was black?
Yeah, they definitely were black. The Sagisi definitely were black.
He thinks Kish is Kush.
Yeah, and if somebody wanted to debate that,
Cash, Kush, that's all the same.
Now, were they white people like what we know today? No. But they are the precursor to the white man. They may have
now you sound like so if you take that position, you have to take that position with the Egyptians.
One mic, hold on 1 second.
I thought it was still on my floor.
Gideon, and then we got Prince Amon, and then y'all can do that. Y'all can't go.
So I'm gonna land with this question. So if you're using all the evidence to say that, because now you getting confused about who is black and white from Mr. Bliggity Black, you know what I'm saying? Now it's confusion. So if you're saying that the Israelites or whatever you just described them as, that's the same description you must give to not only the Cushitic people, but the Egyptian people as well. That's why I say, like, deep in your heart until you repent, I say you pseudo, bro, and I land.
Go ahead. I should respond to that, and then we go on. Then I'm gonna let Prince get in there, and I think he want Ashay to respond to him too. Go ahead, Ashay.
Now, when I say we're these white people, they're not brothers. These are not no
brothers. You said brother Omar.
These is not no people that look like.
Yeah. Okay. You right. Yeah. Because just hopped in. So brother Omar is next.
I can wait after I say. No sweat. I can wait after I say though.
You ain't gonna wait too long, Omar. I got you.
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah, I don't wait.
I say solid. Yeah.
So when we look on the walls and we look at what we can observe from those people and what they left behind, they wasn't people that look like me and you, bro. That's crazy to me. That's deep for you to go that far, and where y'all even came from, coming from the Caucasus Mountain, making this travel on down. This ain't no African migration, bro. So for you to go as far as say they black, like me and you, that's pseudo. That's just throwing out history. That's just throwing out anthropology, throwing out understanding all in itself, bro. To adopt this, and now you want to try to paint them as what of what we consider of an African type phenotype. That's what you
Sub-Saharan Negro.
You saying that the Sumerians were Sub-Saharan Negro?
They would be classified as Sub-Saharan Negro. Yes.
So not only, go ahead, Omar. All right, hold. So let Omar get it here. Go ahead, Omar.
Okay, so if we talking about not only biblical narrative, but as far as not every scholar, but I'll probably say a split between a 50-50. So I think says something about Canaanites or something like that. So as far as our narrative, everybody know when it speaks about the sons of Ham, which are the Egyptians, Libyans, the Nubians and the Canaanites. That's one. Number two, now there is a 50-50 split. So it's loads of scholars that actually say that Sumer has origins that people that pushed up north from the Nile Valley. So we just not gonna sit here and play these games. You know what I'm saying? So and then to answer Humble, can you be Korean? Can you be something? See, this is what you're getting confused, Humble. So unlike the Kemetic people, which had religion, the Israelites didn't have religion. Because guess what? A Hamite can't be an Israelite. An Edomite can't be an Israelite. This is a bloodline, a heritage of a people. So to try to say, Omar, can you be Korean? Absolutely not. Or what did you say, Buddhist or something like that? You know what? That's a religion to where anybody could become that. So don't get us mixed up with Buddhism, Christianity, or any of that. You know what I'm saying? Now, to get back to Kemet, because y'all want to say, oh, the Israelites, the Sky Daddy, and all this other stuff. Man, y'all had multiple Sky Daddies. You know what I'm saying? Kemet is probably the most religious out of any people on the face of the earth. Why is Omar saying this? Who in the hell is going to take 40 to 50 years? Hold on right quick, y'all. So who in the hell is going
on my laptop?
Who in the hell is going to take 40 to 50 years to build up a monolithic structure like a pyramid? If it's just so-called principle, nobody. Hold on. Did they pray? We all know they prayed. Did they have shrines? We all know they had shrines. Did they give offerings? Yeah, they give offerings. All that stuff strictly through Kemet is purely based upon religion. Purely based upon it. So don't act like we cross plan and then to land my plane. Because I think I heard Humble and I say, oh, y'all don't have no bloodline. You don't believe in DNA. Hold on. I don't care what none of y'all say. Because what does the biblical scripture say? You ain't supposed to be searching to know endless genealogy. And to quickly land another one.
Hey, hold on one second, Omar.
What else is the?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say one more. And then real quick, how you supposed to judge it is it said the spirit beareth witness that we are the children of the promise. So I don't need DNA. I stick to scripture. Let's get it.
All right. Go ahead. I think Assam Kyle wanted to hop in there.
I got 4% left on my laptop, bro. I just want to share sources real quick. It ain't even
no
say your point real fast.
Yeah, just real quick, and I'm marking. Yeah, you want to put
real
that on the screen
fast.
real quick?
Yep, I got you.
Bang! No, based on physical anthropology, skeletal remains in modern genetic research, the ancient Sumerians were not phenotypically or genetic sub-Saharan African. The idea that Sumerians were Negroid or sub-Saharan African is the claim that circulates around what? Certain Afrocentric historical theories, but it is not supported by archaeological, linguistic, or biological data. This is real fast. He made that up.
Facts.
How you get it in?
Now, let's start to break down the that we did.
No.
Hold on one second. It's Assam turn.
All I'm just saying is I knew I say was gonna do that, and guess what? I got something for that. I got something for that.
No, you ain't got nothing for because it ain't your turn yet, brother. Oh,
that was the most disingenuous. That was the most disingenuous evaluation I've ever seen.
Hold on one second, man. Hey, one mic. It's Assam turn. Go ahead, Assam.
Yes, back. Yeah, bad enough I gotta holler because I'm in this truck and y'all can't hear me, right? So first thing we're going to destroy is the fake claim that you need a king and the super D in order to have Egypt. There's a whole line of priest kings from Horemheb on down that destroy that argument. So in fact, the claim from my brother Saber Reggie is that the Amen priests, who are some of those priest kings, destroyed ancient Egypt. So that's a false claim. And that's not a shot at my brother. We've had this discussion before. They already know this. The second claim with the cosplay business. Number one, if you're from Africa, like I said, you probably have a lineage or some type of claim in ancient Egypt, because the people of ancient Egypt, when you go to the grave sites of the excavations, pop up. So we can see when it's a Maasai. We can see when it's a Nahesi. We can see when it's somebody who's foreign. We can see a Libyan. Not only that, I'm Congolese. So in the last excavation, which they keep touting about, where they found all them Greeks thrown in the hole, they also found improper burials 2 Congolese. Also, when you go to the original setup of ancient Egypt, meaning the pre-dynastic area in Dynasty 00, you see them buried just like the Congolese. When the king dies, the rest of his progeny go with him. That's a Congolese thing. It's been like that for years. And the people are really short in those early dynasties, which should tell you something also. One of them is sitting with his legs crossed, and he's only about 5. They call him a ding. So when you go to, I think it's Brother Sinwa's threat, he says, make sure the ding is in good condition when he gets to us. Make sure he's got the finest people around him. If he needs girls, give him girls. Why? Because we did the dance of the Netcharu. We did the dance of Asar. And the king wanted to see that. That's a
When you say they say
Congolese
give him
over
what he
there.
needs, you mean
Stop talking
sacrifice
during my
him, huh?
turn, B.
Please
Stop
respond
talking
real quick.
during my. Don't talk during my turn, B. Period. Now, when you talking about Congolese, it's saying directly on the scientific journal that 2 bodies were found that were Congolese. So now your whole thing is your whole information is dead in the water. And I showed that already on about 2 different shows, which is why when I hop on, pseudos hop off, because your information is phony. Now I'm about to land the plane on your head. Keep talking about this Israelite stuff, right? But you don't claim the Semitics who are in ancient Egypt. You don't claim Beni Yah, the son of Yah, who is called, he chose to keep his Egyptian name, Pa-Heka Amen. So guess what he's doing? He's cosplaying. When we go to the line of Rekmi Ra and we see a bunch of Semitics dressed like Hebrews, dressed like Egyptians, what are they doing? They must be cosplaying. So now, only cosplaying from you until you can show a lineage tracing back to Israel.
You breaking up.
Can I respond right quick? Can I respond right quick though?
King J,
I'll
didn't
be
you have
quick.
something to say? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. You
Oh,
had
okay,
something to say,
my
King
bad.
J?
I got a little lag.
No, go ahead. Let Omar rock.
All right, go ahead, Omar.
I
Go ahead,
had something
Omar.
to say.
Oh,
Okay,
Iman
bet,
had
bet.
something to say. That was Iman. Go ahead, Iman, and then Omar.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, no sweat, no sweat.
And then we got our Shay afterwards.
Whatever radio station that was just playing loud as hell was playing a bunch of wrong shit and conflating shit that made no sense. He said any tribe in Africa should have some type of connection or relation to the tribe in Kemet or the Egyptians. Pseudo as fuck. The nigga need to do way more studying. Secondly, he's trying to say that, oh, people in Africa, they are all related and we're related to the Egyptians. So even if we're not practicing African spirituality, at least it's Egyptian and it's in Africa. And but bro, that's a crazy conflation that you're making. Also, nobody is privy to the information but the Israelites on the line that there are multiple tribes with Levantine genealogy in Africa, as well as the Sumerians that you're referring to. So all these people would look alike as well. Just throw another a biblical reference in there to top it all off. Like you say, land the plane on your head. 70 Israelites went into Egypt. 6 figures worth came out. And I'm gonna land my plane with that. So when you try and say, "Oh, I'm an Egyptian," I'm not an Israelite. You don't even realize how close in relation those two would be in comparison to the Africans. And I'll land my plane there. And anybody who want to debate that
I'm
Sumerian
coming to
shit
get
that
the
y'all
flow.
talking about, that
Fair
pseudo
point.
ass Sumerians or white shit, step up to the plate. I'm ready for that.
Hey, excellent work, brother. Excellent work. So here's the thing here. So this is what we do. We got to walk them down a dog alley. And the reason we walking them down the dog alley is because I knew my bad. I knew Asay was going to respond the way he did. And then I knew that Asa was going to respond the way he did. So guess what we going to do? We're just going to go to the words of Sheikh Anta Diop. Yes, we've been around for a while. Sheikh Anta Diop, who y'all have loads of respect for, who y'all put on a pedestal. Yes. What did Sheikh Anta Diop say? He actually said that the foundational roots of Mesopotamia and Sumer civilizations were black. This is for the person y'all put on a pedestal. So let's stop playing. Y'all want to play some more with Omar? I got loads of this stuff. I got loads of it. And the reason I'm asking the questions that I'm asking is, guess what? Because I got it all lined up. So wherever y'all want to move, it's y'all move next up on the chessboard. But brother Omar got this. Sheikh Anta Diop. I dare somebody to say that I'm lying. So guess what? Y'all niggas need to go argue with Sheikh Anta Diop, who y'all put on the pedestal. Let's get it.
All right, we got our shit
Say
next. Hold on,
Watch
we
the
got that
cherry
shit
kicking.
next.
Here come
Then
the
I'm gonna
cherry kicking.
Let's
hold
get it
on one
on.
second.
So
I got Ashe next, and then I'm gonna run an ad, and then I guess I'm gonna pick up with King J, and then we gonna move back around
Hey,
like this.
real quick too, cause I ain't heard nobody give you your flowers yet, humble. You've been doing a great job moderating for these past couple hours,
I
bro. It's not
appreciate you,
easy
bro. I
trying to
appreciate it.
moderate and be in on the arguments and pull sources, pull information, bro. I know that shit ain't easy. So
Oh
shout out
yeah,
to you, bro. You doing a great job. Keep holding this shit down.
I appreciate you, my guy. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
ain't gonna lie, you is, bro. And if y'all don't, I might say y'all not good scholars, but y'all some hell of a moderators, man. Big up the mouth, bro.
so crazy part about what's going on here is that
Yo,
Ashe
we can
kind
talk.
of.
Yo,
Hold on, it's Ashe.
they
He
trying to
kind of
bubble
froze
wrap
out a
right
little
now.
bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Ashe froze out a little bit.
Your man tried to say that the bodies in the excavation wouldn't lead to different African groups.
I'm gonna drop
So
you
we
down.
know he
Come
a
back.
lie and we know he pseudo because William Flinders Petrie clearly made it clear that he couldn't tell if it was. Matter of fact, he said there's 6 dynamic groups and he tried to make them European. Later on, he had to recant his statement, and that's when you start to get terms like it's clear that the Egyptians had mixed with a whole lot of Negro blood, as E.A. Wallace Budge and company put it. E.A. Wallace Budge also said it's clear that the religious acts and the things that they do.
You breaking up with Sam Ka.
Breaking up real bad.
All right. So while you get that together, I'm gonna run an ad, y'all. I'm gonna run an ad while he getting that together.
Let me get the flow whenever you deem it,
All
bro.
right. And then when we come back, we got Gideon. Let's get it.
Attention all debate fans. You've been watching, you've been arguing, you've been picking sides. But now it's time to level up. From this point forward, all debates on this platform are going members only. That means the hottest clashes, the wildest arguments, and your favorite personalities going head to head will only be available to subscribers. You want real scholarship, you want the smoke, you want the unfiltered action, then don't get left outside looking in. Sign up today for as low as $3.99 and get full access to every debate, every moment, every knockout argument. This is Titans Debate League, where legends are made and debates get real. Join now or miss out.
All right. We back. I think we back in action. Gideon has something to say. Then we're gonna jump to your Shaw because he cut out. So Gideon, make it quick, Gideon, so we can get right back to your Shaw.
Yeah, I just have a question for all the people who believe.
I apologize. Make it quick so we can get back to Ashe.
Yeah. So my question is this: the laws of Ma'at are those laws that are set in stone, like the Ten Commandments? Is that something that's that's stable like that? Are they the same?
Go ahead, Ashe. I'll let you get it. I'll let you respond to that.
Yeah, those are not. They're not laws. They confessions. They meant to be actually pronounced in a dua. Until that's afterlife. That so it's not laws.
So you can basically just make up any admission you want.
Some make that argument. I don't make that argument.
So it's basically like I said, man, Jamar just, I don't know, man. It sounds pretty Catholic to me.
For you to believe that they had a template for getting into the afterlife, and people wasn't being held up to that standard. That just show that's just. It seems like you don't even care for understanding.
Nah, from what you're saying, it's almost do what I will, which is kind of Catholic to me.
How is that?
Because if it's nothing that's prescribed or described to man to do, then that's something that you're coming up with. Like Jabari said, he said, like, y'all are the God, y'all make your own laws. So that's do what I will. That's like Aleister Crowley and all them. Like, not saying that he's from them, but he has that same ideology. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you kind of got it. So like, and this is kind of like I like when people familiarize themselves with Egypt a little bit more, right? Because when they mention Mayat, right, it's 42 sapats. Every sapat, they're not Hamadus sapats. They're autonomous, right? But each sapat has their own cult, god, enzyme, standard temple, right? They don't all worship the same deities. Mayat may be a administrative imposed at some point, but the local people still, everybody didn't worship, pray to like these are.
I'm pretty much like a judge over the court. You see what I'm saying? Like, she was like impartial, but she was a god.
To those who believed in that deity.
Wait, hold on.
And other supply, everybody might not have worshipped Maya or dealt with that.
Right, hold on, King, right. So here's what I have to correct King J. Hold on, here's what I have to correct King J. So, like King J, unlike how King J was just trying to ascribe Ma'at was a god and some people worshipped her and some people didn't. Ma'at was literally everybody. I don't care who you was in Kemet. Everybody upheld Ma'at. I don't care what shrine you came, because Ma'at literally represents divine balance and order, truth, reciprocity. So when to even be a priest,
to those people,
hold on 1 second, King J. To be a priest of any shrine, I don't care what shrine it is, you have had to go through the initiations of Ma'at to even be ordained to be a priest in anything. So for you to just hold on 1 second, and my point, I'm gonna land my point real quick. So for you to say that my aunt was just worship as a deity is false. My aunt in of itself is a principle that represents truth, balance, justice, reciprocity. So that there's a saying, right? And also, oh, I'm so mad I can't remember this book right now. So often I accredit this saying to Jabari, but the Comedics themselves had this saying: "Do my art, speak my art, be my like this is something." So it lets you know that they wasn't just looking at it as, oh, we gotta worship this thing. No, this is the very essence that run our life that we abide by. So this is almost, or and I ain't gonna say almost, this is as how the Hebrews always try to say the Cometians never had a moral code, but this is the moral code.
No,
So
that doesn't make sense, because even if you just looked at it as far as like intermediate periods, that would be considered isfet off top,
What?
right? Intermediate periods would be considered isfet. It would not be mayat, right? Do you know what that means?
About the period itself?
Yes.
Yes, that means that the land went through a state of isfet. Yeah.
The land went back to what it originally was, to autonomous. So brother, stop cutting me. Yes, brother, stop. Brother, we're not talking about the definition of isfet. Stay on course. You like to just throw off.
You trying to change these words around. I'm hearing you.
Brother, I said let's say let brother let's
period that would be considered isfet. I would agree with you. But not isfet in the means of things going back to the way it was, but isfet as in a state of chaos.
Okay, well, let me explain why I was going back to what it was. Because before Narmer came to the Nile Delta and cut them people's heads off and made them pay taxes, they was living how they was living. They wasn't worshiping no Mayat. They was worshiping whatever local deity or shrine they had in that temple, and that was that. If you was, for instance, if you lived in a bull sapat where they worshipped the bull, that bull was sacred in that area. Outside of that, they eating that motherfucker, right? If you went to the pot where they worship the crocodile as the god, that crocodile was sacred in that area. Outside of that, they eat that motherfucker, right? So it's only what?
See, this is again, once again. Please, Ashe.
I want to intervene. I want to intervene. Just make a statement. I think that what I'm hearing a lot of times, and the Hebrews, they love it. But if Jabari was here, he would just and that's why when we be around certain guys, it'd be a different feel.
It's a different conversation.
This a cool pseudo killer conversation to make those kind of talking points. Call my out of God, use words like worship, and that's very I say westernized understanding of African culture, I believe. And it's just yeah, because the question that they asked was not about pre-dynastic Kemet. They asked about Kemet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we talking about Kemet, now we talking about the unification of upper and lower.
Mm-hmm.
No,
now we talking about.
I would have to say no. And
but we can't. Well, wait, you can't cut me off because you can't speak for them. This is in the context in which they're talking. They're talking about far as it being an established kingdom. They're using words like that. They are. That is how these brothers are here talking.
No,
that's how they're here talking. I'm not saying you here talking like that, but that's how they're here talking.
Stop trying to find a street over the Bible. That's Humble and King J having a conversation. No need to throw the Bible under the bus, bro.
No, we don't throw the Bible under the bus. Y'all started this conversation.
Hold on, King J, let him finish.
I would love to respond at the.
Yeah, we going back and forth. But yeah, no, I've never heard Reggie say
I'm not talking about Reggie. Why are you talking? See, that's what I'm saying, King J.
That's why I said let him finish. He ain't talking about Reggie.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the conversation we in right now. Before you spoke, before you added in, King J, the Hebrews talking. They're not talking about what you're talking about because they don't even know what you're talking about. Honestly, let's be real. So they can't be referring to what you're talking about.
No, me and Humble were talking about my yacht.
So when they going on,
remember I said that earlier, bro.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let him get it in.
So when they going on about this and they asking about shit like, there's not a shit getting weird. When they asking about shit like 42 negative confessions, right? Now we have to move into dynastic periods. because that's what they're talking about. And the theme of the dynastic periods, ever since non-modern unification of upper and lower, is Ma'at. That's the underlying theme. That's what he's saying. Not core worship of everybody you worship. No, because you still, like you say, you still have shrines, little mini cults and things of that nature where and that's why Akhenaten was kind of such an issue, because you got the mini cults who like, what you mean? You just want to uplift our 10 and just our 10 like we don't exist out here, like we not doing our own thing. That do a little bit of it spit on the land. So, but the theme is always to maintain Ma'at. You even see the Nasuts when you see them, you will have an idol of an idol or idol of a man of a Nasut. You got Ramses and so forth of them holding Ma'at in their hand, a sculpture of it, and that's the representation of that they are to upkeep and maintain Ma'at.
I like to, man. I like to respond to that. You said a lot.
Yeah, because
I'm
that
gonna
first
start with. I'm
on
gonna
the
start with
Bible
what you.
was to
Hold
explain
on,
it,
brother.
but then he
Hold on.
didn't explain why through the Bible
next,
underfoot.
You next, Gideon. Go ahead, King J.
I'm gonna start with what he said.
Just shoot right quick. I thought I was supposed to
I'm a,
shoot right quick.
hold
I
on,
got
brother.
you,
If the,
Omar. Right after Gideon. I got you, Omar.
yeah, so the conversation can stay fluid. I'm gonna end with where
All
he
right,
ended off at
cool.
with the Sapas. So would you call Narmer and his advancement up the Nile Valley Mayat?
Yeah, I will.
His cutting off the heads of those inhabitants of the Nile Valley and imposing taxes on them is Mayat. Okay.
Yes, that's
So
Ma'at.
I would disagree. And I would and wait in a way, it's kind of like how Americans look at it as expansion, right? So it's important to familiarize yourself with the 42 sapas of Tamehu and Tashemet, right? Called upper and lower, right? Tamehu is the Nile Delta. It's inhabited by the Madu Butu culture. Merimde is the first site in the Nile Delta, probably dating to about 5000 BC. These are a Levantine group of people who have come in and has established the first culture there, right? These are the Tamehu. These are the 22 sapas in the Nile, right? They're known for paper, land of papyrus. To go south, right, where Narmer is at, we're talking about Nakata, Waset, Edfu, Nekin. What happens is this confederacy, right? There are 42 sapas. All of them are different. They all have their own different standards, ensign. They're worshiping different gods. So they're not worshiping Mayat.
Never said that.
Except for the ones who are, right? Except for the ones who are. And so it seems as if they, which is Narmer, they have a confederacy and they march up to now and they impose their will on the rest of these other people. They tax them, they cut their heads off militarily, right? This happened. This is the old kingdom. This
I gotta
happened.
stop it.
No, this is the old kingdom. This is Narmer. This happens when they leave, right? And all the other supports say we ain't paying these taxes and what rebel. Everything goes back to where it was. Everybody doing their own thing. We're not controlled by the government no more. The government's not making us worship this deity no more. There is no national deity no more. We have to observe. We've rebelled, right? We're back to what we were, autonomous, right? They're happy. When people talk about Egypt, a lot of times they like to say the Egyptians and speak of them as a whole group, not realizing these are 42 different cities. Now, I want to say they're countries. These are 42 different countries because the continent, well, no, they're 42. If the United States is a country, then these would be, these are countries.
You
Tamehu is a
saying,
country.
yeah, you saying
Tamehu
it
is a
right,
country.
King J. You saying it right. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. So they're all individual. They're different. They're distinct. They're not the same homogenous people that people are making up to speak. So I like to correct people when they say Egyptians, because they would refer to themselves from whatever individual sapat they were from. The people of the Etfu, the people of Nekin, the people of Taseti, the people of, that's how they would refer to themselves, not Egyptians at all, or as a general thing. And to the point, that most important point, Kemet did not exist in the Old Kingdom. Kemet, K-M.C, with the 049 determinative representing a district or a land does not come into play until 11th dynasty Dog Stella or 12th dynasty Abu Simbel. Around that time, that's when we see the first appearance of the word Kemet. Before then,
I say 12 Dynasty. I'm with you on that.
okay, well,
Hey, you sharp, King J. I ain't gonna lie. I've been listening to you.
okay, well, it's
Hey,
off the head, but
you
yeah,
been
it's
putting
12.
down, boy.
So I don't. So Old Kingdom Kemet, I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? They just will refer to it. I see it's Tasha May and it's Tamehu.
Yeah, but a lot of what you say, and that was, I gotta hit you with the ink. That was an over explanation. And it was an over explanation because I appreciate the fact you want to show your stuff and you want to show what you know, but in the conversation about my eye, and you ask me a subjectory statement, do I believe what Narmar did was my eye? And you explain how he established order, and you establish and you explain, and even what we see going forward from that was order. And they could have rebelled, right? Overthrew, right? Could have done all those things. But no. Since that unification, you get 25 dynasties going on down that joint, right? So it's like at any time, and I'm not with the state, and I'm not. There's no source that you can show me that there was this ideology that when Narmar came, everybody had to worship this god and do things this way. No, they will always have autonomous codes. They didn't start trying to put a pause on that, and that's what Ankanana got the fame for. That's why they lie and say that he was the founder of monotheism, because you had all of these things going on that you named, but that didn't stop with armor though. You know, like I know that's not true. You had many people who was venerating many different things according to where they was at. I do agree with that. Depending on what city state that you was in, you would have different chieftain deities. Ptah was not always seen as the chief deity or the majority of Kemet. At first, he was just, I believe it was Stephen, if I'm correct. So I'm on to what you're saying, but in this conversation about my aunt was always the theme of the people, bro. That's just it. That was it. It wasn't Isfet. You can either be in Isfet or you can be in my aunt. I'm not saying they worship, but that's the choice that you got. And you have things like the Imperial Papyrus that will give you examples, metaphoric examples, of course, of what falling out of my eye looks like.
That's good.
Yeah, no, yeah, I listen. I was listening. You on point, but it just seems to be if the viewpoint that you're giving it from the conqueror's viewpoint. It's my eye, of course. But if I'm on the butt end of that and get my head chopped off, it may be Isfet.
Wait, that's what I say. I say, bro, you just be stacking up the contradictions because when you read it in the Bible and Joshua is doing the same thing that Menes did in Canaan land, niggas won't have, y'all won't pull out picket signs and saying God is even, God is that. But we actually see normally is cutting people's heads off. So this is what I want to tell you, I said, and I told it to Humble earlier. Y'all gotta Y'all gotta stop romanticizing Kemet, and y'all gotta stop trying to throw the Bible under the bus. When we be having discussions and y'all get into some type of logical crisscross, y'all always throw the Bible in the mix. Stop doing that, because to people who understands proper methodology, it looks bad. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to say, bro.
You
All
want to
right.
know the
You
funny
my
thing?
guy.
Wait, can I
Anybody
say
else?
this
All
real
right,
quick?
before anybody, really fast. I say I got you. I first want to respond to what Gideon said. The only time we really only speak about Kemet so deep in tradition is when we're responding to a misplaced history of what a Hebrew Israelite tried to do. Right? That's number one. Number two, we got brother Cosmic Sand Kofa in the building. This right here, this is one of my brothers, one of my good brothers. I don't know why my dog's barking, but this is one of my good brothers right here. What's up, brother Sankofa?
Hey, peace to the panel.
That's it.
Shalom, shalom.
Peace.
So to kind of, well, I'm gonna quickly respond to what I said, and
Hold
then
on,
Hold
wait,
on,
wait,
Humble.
hold on.
wait,
It
hold
was
on, wait.
Ashay trying to
2
respond. It
seconds.
was Ashay
2
trying to
seconds.
respond. Go ahead, Ashay.
Is
Humble, you said I was supposed to shoot at the
it's
Gideon, but
disingenuous.
I'll wait again. I'll wait again.
Okay,
Is
got you, Omar. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be long, man. I want you getting into it, man. It's disingenuous, man, for this guy Gideon to say that we romanticize Kemet. When we was having a whole conversation about Levantine people, DNA, Mesopotamia, and it's always them who bring up Kemet. He was the one who brought up Kemet. He said, Ashe, ain't that a Kemetic name? That was the first mention we got of Kemet in this entire conversation. I don't even speak about Kemet. We got enough brothers really actually doing so. So for you to say we romanticize anything, that's just false. Having knowledge on something and romanticizing something is totally different. That's a fact. Y'all crazy, man. And y'all crazy because y'all take, like I said, this Levantine Mesopotamian culture, try to adopt it, take everything in it, celebrate Passover, which is the death of young African Egyptian babies, right? These are things that y'all adopt. Take Purim from the Babylonians. Don't even know the etymological root of your practice. But then come to me with things like romanticism, cosplay, faking the funk, disingenuous. These are the terms that I gotta hear from these guys who have yet to show one source on their Mesopotamian lineage. Just one.
Man, look here. Reggie hate the Bible, but shout out to brother Reggie because he finally breaking down, that
Hold on
something
1
that
second.
y'all know.
Omar, get in here. Get in. He been waiting patiently. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah. So man, I want to address what Asay said, like about like 5-6 minutes ago. So Asay said, y'all are being weird on how y'all address Kemet. You said that 5-6 minutes ago. This is why we do it. I say, this is why we do it. We do it because y'all try to buy just because we believe in Bible and we say we Israelites. We got to be put in a box. We got to be put in a box of so-called religion. But then all of a sudden, only when it comes to Kemet, we wasn't religious and this and that. Let's look at facts. Because like I said, Brother Omar never tells a lie. And Kemet, they prayed. Fact. They had shrines. Fact. They gave offerings. Fact. They chanted. Fact. After doing whatever surgery that they did, or applying medicine, which we all know you apply the medicine, you ain't got to read no spell. But did they do that? Fact. So the thing is, don't try to isolate yourself from the Bible to try to make it like Kemet is just like they're the only one and everything else is religion, but Kemet has nothing to do with religion when it has everything to do with religion. Every characteristic I named is a fact, and you can't get around it. So here's my thing here. If you're going to persecute the Bible, you got to persecute Kemet because they goddamn almost have the same characteristics. You can't do that. Don't try to box us in and isolate Kemet like it was just something great. Like they didn't do the same things. Which they did, man. That's all I'm saying, brother. Let's stop playing. And then my last thing to address Humble. Humble said something about, the Israelites is a misplaced history. No facts and no sources. I quoted the guy that y'all put on a pedestal, Shankat Anti-Diop. And I dare anybody to say that Brother Omar's lying about what I brought out about, which was Shank Anti-Diop said about Sumer and those cultures coming up out of Africa.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
didn't make
address
that
that.
up.
I
I
want him
didn't
to
make
address
that
that.
up. I
Respond
didn't.
to that
Yeah,
real quick.
no, yeah. I didn't. I did not make that
So,
up.
number one,
I didn't make that up.
with
Hold on,
Omar,
but humble, real quick.
go ahead.
The reason why I even bought up Shank T Diop, because I know that y'all put him on a pedestal. That's why I bought it up. Let's
Okay.
get it.
So really fast. So while Omar sit here, right, he continues to dismiss, and it's funny because he don't think what he's doing is religion, but he continue to dismiss the very fact, right, that a religion and a spiritual system are, number one, two totally different things, and number two, these people, they worked with the quote unquote the Najjar. They didn't waste their time sitting around, oh, all we going to do is go and sing psalms and things of this nature. When you go into if I'm not mistaken, hey Thor, I can't remember her name. I can't remember the other one name. Bass, I think it's Bass. And you go in, those are healing centers. So don't think, oh, but they was no. This is why when we get on y'all, when y'all get to the Eurocentric religious thinking, y'all think everything got out of here have to be religiousized. No, some people actually are practitioners of life, and they have words for their practitioners of life. Now, when you see yourself, hold on, Omar, am I playing with this? Because I got to answer the phone. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Am I playing with this? I got to answer the phone.
But according to y'all,
When you
anybody
see
can be a
yourself
Kemetic
part of
priest.
life, hold on 1 second.
According to being an Israelite, anybody just can't become an Israelite.
Hold on
So I
1
just
second.
wanted to correct that right quick.
Okay. So when you see yourself a part of life, and when you work with life, right, then these things become practice, not religion. The difference is you believe in these things. You believe in Moses and Abraham, and that's a belief system. You're not going out here practicing or studying to see if Abraham was a real person. You're not going out here to see if those were actually the real authentic 10 commandments of these people. You're not doing that. You're going and moving off of faith and belief. That's the difference. This is a spiritual system. You have a religion. I land my plane with that. Go ahead, Omar.
The Kemetic people absolutely believe in their gods. Now, this is what I'm saying. They believe that there were principles. I do agree with that. But they also believe that these gods were actually real. You can't believe in just, oh, it's only principles and it's a spirituality. Like I said before, they had shrines to it, altars, they gave offerings, they prayed, chanted, they did all these things. So once again, don't box us in to make it seem like the Kemetic people is something special and try to isolate yourselves from so-called religion as well. Number two, if you ever listen to people like, well, I'm not sure about 100% with Gideon, I'm going to speak for myself as far as me being an Israelite. Anybody just can't become an Israelite. They can't. You have to be a children of promise. First and second covenant.
I got a question
First
for
and
you.
second covenant. Now, to y'all,
I got a question for you, Omar. When you say, hold on, let me get to this question real quick.
You ain't gotta be from Kemetic to be a Kemetic priest.
All right, hold on, Omar. Let me ask you this question, Omar.
I didn't believe that. That's all I'm saying.
So, Omar, when you put these two traditions
y'all are
together,
reconstructionists. Can y'all admit that y'all are reconstructionists?
Hold on, let me answer this question.
Do y'all reconstruct it?
Hold on, Omar. Let me ask you this question.
Just real quick. Do y'all reconstruct it?
Do we reconstruct it?
Do y'all reconstruct it?
Yeah, to fit modern times. Yes.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with you.
Here we go. Okay, now answer this question.
Out of here. Get it up out of
here.
Question,
Omar. Answer this question, Omar. when you put these two traditions side by side, the Hebrew Israelite tradition and the Kemetic tradition, what tradition reigns supreme? And be honest.
You said what again? My bad.
When you put the Kemetic tradition next to the Israelite tradition, and we're talking culture, we're talking effects on environment, we're talking about innovations, what tradition reigns supreme?
Well, I'm not going to say which tradition reigns supreme. Now, did the Kemetic tradition come before Israel? Yes, but this is why the Israelite tradition reigns supreme. It's as far as our gods compared to y'all netters. Our gods don't put their own phallus up in their mouth. Our gods, our God doesn't put his phallus in his mouth.
This guy terrible. Go ahead.
He don't do that.
Don't go ahead. Matter of fact, don't go ahead. Hold on 1 second.
We don't have a
Ask him
tradition.
to explain that. Ask him to explain that.
Y'all have a tradition to where it was two netters wrestling, and the other one took the other one buttocks for domination, to assort his domination.
Where that's at? Source that up.
Nigga, it's on the whoa.
Yeah, they just be saying anything, bro.
Whoa.
They just be
Now,
saying.
It's not on the wall. It's not on the walls, Omar. You made that part up.
Okay. My bad. It's on it's on that one papyri called the Homo erratic.
No, it's called the contenders between Haru and Seth.
Yeah, and they do have some of those drawings on the wall, but a lot of them are on the actual papyri.
And can you tell me your understanding of what's going on in that?
Actually, the majority of them are on the papyri that some sick Kemetic priests drew.
Can I say something? Because I think my brother
Please don't sound like I'm making this up, man. Have some integrity. Just say yes. The Kemetic people did do that, but it didn't mean what you're trying to say, Omar. I can respect that.
Omar,
are the drawings real? Are the drawings real? Yes, they are.
They're real, yes.
Okay, then, man. Conversation shit over.
Well, let me answer for you because
let me say something real quick,
Israelites. And then I'm looking. Hold on, I'm almost done. And then I'm looking at the top of the thing. It said the Hebrews be funny, bro. No, y'all be funny. Let's get it.
Now, the crazy part about that is y'all be saying stuff like that and just say it, and it just sounds like it to be perverted at this point. Because at this point, when we looking at the contentions of Haru and Seth is not a positive person in the story, is he, people? Is he? No, he's not a positive person in the story. So I think Isarium Ka probably gave the greatest explanation for it, and I'm gonna repeat it every time I hear this stuff.
Well, y'all mad at me. Y'all acting like I drew it. Y'all acting like Omar drew it.
You slow down. That story,
we do know who did draw it.
Hold on, Omar. You gotta let him finish, Omar. You gotta let him finish. Go ahead.
Niggas be hurt because they want to sound, they get up here and say nasty shit. And then when you want to bring some clarity to it, they know that they just sound perverted as hell. So when you see that, I'm gonna hit you with the Asylum Cop. This is a story of what you're supposed to do when a family member try to get down on you or try to violate you, right? Because what does Haru do? He goes to his mother and he alerts his mother about what happened. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
They end up in front of a court, right? Where they call for Tahuti call for the semen, and the semen come from who? Seth.
This is all I'm saying.
From Seth.
Hold on.
You're not making it.
So and then he gets humiliated with the star. But it's funny because this is a moral story teaching a child what to do in the case of a family child predator, which is a reality.
That's crazy.
You don't got no protection.
Y'all don't listen good.
Wait,
Y'all don't listen
pervert.
good.
Wait, you
Bruh,
don't. Hey,
are you being for real, bro? Are you saying this is
Am
a
I being
PSA
for real?
announcement for
I'm being
molestation, bro?
dead ass for real.
Wow.
Being dead ass for real. Now you give me a better explanation than what I just gave you.
All right. So what's
Let me hear your
crazy?
carnal mind.
This is what you got to stand. I'll say real quick, y'all. This see, I say you got to have your listening ears on. So, like I said, I'm not new. I'm not new to this. I know as far as what y'all say that it means principles and it's not necessarily homoerotic. So I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing is whatever sick bastard decide to articulate itself with that disgusting drawings. That's all I'm saying.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Do you not? Do you know that? Do you know that it was a satire comedy?
Get on your wall.
Do you know that was a satire comedy? Do you know that?
No. You acting like there's only one. You acting like
Sorry,
there's
you all
only
over the
one.
place out there.
There's
First
loads
is
of
a PSA
them.
announcement.
There's loads of those pictures. And the thing is, don't get mad at me. I didn't draw it. The Israelites didn't draw it. But
Hold on, matter of fact.
Draw it. No. Guess hold on. Hold on, people. Is Brother Omar in here?
Yes,
I can
you
see it.
are.
So
then you just hold on. Matter of fact, I just seen you. Hold on, Omar. I just seen you on a live. Hold on, Omar. Hold on 1 second. I just seen you on a live, right?
You acting like they don't exist.
Hold on, Omar. Listen. I just seen you on a live while he was trying to explain this same, or he was trying to kick this same narrative to Jabari. And Jabari legend, and what he used was the earth.
Does the drawings exist?
Hold on. Because you pointed out.
Answer my question, man.
Omar, chill. Hold on. Just listen. You're gonna get your time to respond. Hold on. So you
I don't want to respond. I want you to just answer my question.
Bro. Oh my gosh.
And when you're done, bro,
you pointed out Gad. And so you pointed out how Gad was backwards. And then you talking that.
I never said gay. I never used that word. I never said gay. I never said gay. I never said gay.
Because I ain't say you said gay. I said Gab the earth.
I thought you said. Okay.
So he had to show you where Gab meant earth. He had to literally show you where Gab, the iconography for Gab, literally means earth. So when you look at that and you say, "Oh, that's homie," but what does the earth do? The earth brings forth seed. It brings forth fruit. How does it bring forth fruit?
Humble.
So now
apple ain't going into an apple.
So
humble.
Now
That's crazy.
So hold on 1 second, Omar. I'm gonna let you get it out. I'm gonna land my plane with this, Omar. I'm gonna land my plane.
Let me get the flow whenever you deem it, humble. Let me say something whenever.
I want you to look something up for me, humble.
Hold on. All right, hold on. So when we're looking at this from a realist perspective, right? And you planting things, then what happens? It grows. So what is that as iconography of? It's not an iconography of a man doing something nasty with himself. No, but it's an iconography emanating what happens when the seed bring forth fruit. That's what's going on here. I think Gideon said he wanted to respond, and then we going with our shade. Go ahead, Gideon.
I wanted you to look
Hold on.
Humble is being disingenuous.
I want him to look something up for me real quick.
He's disregarding the pictures. That's all I'm saying. You're disregarding the pictures.
So this
hold on. Let's let Gideon get in here, and I'm gonna look up what Ashay want me to look up. Go ahead, Gideon.
This is what's crazy with both of what you and Ashay is saying, right? Y'all saying, okay, first of all, when these people drew this, they thought this was a real representation. We all know it's fake, but they thought this was real. So this is coming from a real place. Secondly, when I say made the statement, these ain't gods. This is something that man did, almost alluding to like what we see in the Bible when men do wicked things and people try to say that's God and we correct them and we show them that's what man is doing. Yeah,
Yeah, you lying on me. I didn't.
you can make that argument saying that this is just what man did, but what is his mind state? And the man that wrote this, he's not writing about like a real life event where he's talking about a piece of shit person. This is what's coming out of his mind as what he thinks is creation, which is fake. But like I said, they thought it was real. So, the whole thing with the phallus in your mouth, that's not even scientifically accurate because, like I say, don't nothing there's no what's the word, protogenesis or pyro or whatever that word is, parthenogenesis. It's nothing like that nowhere on earth. So that's a false
A person
representation.
can't get their own self pregnant by putting food in their mouth.
Yeah, so that whole thing is faulty, bro, and it is just sick. But I would never show that to a child. I wouldn't even show that to a man. I feel like if a man showed that to me, I'll probably run off in his stuff because I think he playing games with me. If I didn't know that was Egyptian, like if I didn't know that was an ancient artifact, and the dude was like, "Hey, bro, I got the science and all this," and he pulled that out, it's going down because that's disrespectful. Like,
oh my god,
Yeah, I think
hold on, let me. All right.
I've been waiting a long time. I've been waiting a minute. I ain't said nothing.
I got you.
But yeah, I just want to share.
Hold on, Omar.
I just want to shed light on the topic real quick before we move
hold on,
on.
KJ. Let me let Ashay look something up real quick, and then you got it right next.
Okay, yeah.
I want you to look up the story, the letter story, the contenders of Haru and Set, told in a satire comical stylization, and I'm going to end it.
That's what I want to.
And I'm going to end it, and I'm gonna fall back, and I'm gonna fall back.
I know that it's written. I know that it's written in satire. I say I know that.
I'm not talking to you then. I'm not talking to you.
We're talking about the stick bastard. We're talking about the stick bastard.
Bro, what's up with fam?
Hold on, Omar. You gotta let him speak. Y'all gotta let him talk. Go ahead, Ashay.
And I'm gonna fall back with this statement, man. If a brother showed me some stories and you told me that the person that we supposed to be modeling ourselves off of, who was King David, was kissing another man named Jonathan and expressing between Jonathan that his love for him, the love that he gave him, was sweeter than that of women, I would have an issue with that brother as well. Because now we're talking about literal people who are talking about, oh, I love you, brother, kissing the brother. I love you more than women. That's overtly in plainest day homoerotic. Clearly homoerotic.
All right. So let me read this really fast before y'all try to get all up in there. I said exactly what the brother Ashay asked me to look up. Is the letter story about Heru and Set is a satire humor. It says, yes, the Horus and Set letters episode is the best understood as a mythic satire, sexual humiliation, and political symbolism, not a harmless joke in a modern sense. What is the story?
Read it again. Read it again. Read it again, Humble.
It's read that again. Horus and Set letters episode is best understood as a mythic satire, sexual humiliation, and political symbolism. So, actually, I don't know why. Hold on, who laughing? Who laughing?
Know what?
Hold on, Omar.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, Omar. Hold on. I don't know why you're laughing because this literally proves Ashay's point. Right?
No, it said it's not.
I'm not gonna hunt you on a booty.
It said it's not a harmless joke.
Hold on. So hold on. One mic. Hold on. So what this is
humble can't read. It says not. It's not a harmless joke.
In the modern sense. Can I Humble, let me just get my little place to go in real quick.
Wait a minute, hold on, bro. Cause y'all not even when niggas get cut, bro, niggas don't even let y'all finish reading the source. Y'all is terrible. Wait a minute. So, like I said before, this is literally agreeing with what Ashay is saying, right? This story was put together for a sexual humiliation. which means whoever wrote this story, right, had a political agenda. This is literally what this is saying. And then y'all are saying, yeah. Well, yeah, I want to roll with
I don't
somebody.
see political.
Like, what?
I don't see political nowhere in this.
You don't
Where's
see
political?
the word. You don't see the word political symbolism.
My bad. This
In the
is the
first
key
paragraph
word.
at the top, I'm looking at it.
Okay, but this is the key
Omar,
word.
Omar, before you go in,
Sexual humiliation.
yeah, we
Yes.
understand that.
What does that mean?
Don't
That
run from
means
Can
that.
I,
That's all
can
we
I,
care
Don't run
about.
from that.
can I,
to
can I,
humiliate the
can
culture
I,
at that time.
can I attempt to clear it up a little
What?
bit?
Go ahead, King J. Go ahead.
So, and I mentioned this to Omar before. I think he does it on purpose, and I think he should probably just stop bringing this conversation up because it's starting to look like this is what's on your mind. Like, because every time you talk about it, it's always some homoerotic shit, right? But so I think I would say that it's either two things: satire, in which for the king's enjoyment, they would write scripts and stories, make them up literally, and just for his amusement. That could be an example. I would probably lean to more of a uh, porno, like a porn book, modern day sense, as whereas they would have these in the.
Why would you want to show
Hold on,
sexual
brother,
humiliation
can I
though?
stop, brother? Can I finish the sentence? Where they would have these located in fertility cults. So as where you would go into the fertility cults, and then you would have a little porno in there for you along the lines of this satire of a story, right? I think that may be more aligned along. So where you would actually find these scripts, either in the fertility cults itself or in as amusement for the actual Nasud itself.
But why make a satire? Why make a satire political argument when the argument is based on sexual domination between
Okay. So that's why you would find it in the fertility cult. Sex belongs in fertility cult. Are you insecure about that, or what's the problem?
Hey, look, let's just
Omar, are you suggesting that the Hebrew culture did not have fertility? Hold on, Omar. Are you suggesting that the Hebrew culture didn't have fertility cults?
You just tried to. First of all, you just tried to
No, it's a
suggest
simple
it was like,
question, brother.
oh,
And all I'm letting you know is that this is the type of
the gay
material. Hold
stuff.
on, brother,
You
because it's not
always
an
bring up
argument.
the gay stuff, and Kemet, are you insinuating something about you? So let's just state the fact.
Well, let's state the facts because I want to clear. Hold on, because I want to give an example, Omar, before you go all the way around the
And I go
world,
to
brother.
sleep
You're very
next night.
long-winded, and
I
I'm
wake up the
short-winded.
pussy and I go to
Let me
sleep the
be.
pussy.
Okay, now
That's
let me respond.
number one.
Let me
That's number
respond.
one. That's number one.
Now let me respond
Hold
real
on.
quick because you're kind of
You acting like
long-winded,
I
Omar.
wrote that.
All right, hold on, Omar.
Before
Let
you
him
take
get
it
it in.
somewhere else, I appreciate that because I want to stay on this one point.
Omar didn't
So
write
hold
that.
on, Omar, hold on, because
Omar.
I want to bring you to memory of the 400
Hold
years
on,
you
bro.
spent.
Before you keep going, hold on, Omar. Hey, listen. I know we getting spirited. I know we getting at it though, Brody. But I don't want to have to keep muting people, man. Look, mute yourself. Have some decorum. We all good in here. We chilling. You feel me? I don't want to have to kick anybody out. Let's get it, man.
And I'm saying at least out of everybody. So let's don't forget the 400 years that.
Facts. You are King J. My
Hold
bad,
on.
brother. My bad.
The,
Salaki,
the
my bad.
the 400 years you Hebrews spent in Egypt, and can you remember when you came out and Moses didn't and delayed to come down, and you asked Aaron to build you something? What did he build? He built Hathor. And what did you do? You sung and you danced and you had sex. So these are fertility cults, right? So it's a hold on, brother, hold
Did
on,
they
brother,
not get punished
hold on,
for it?
brother, hold
Did
on,
they
brother.
not
Let
get
me finish
punished
my
for it?
point, brother. Let me finish landing.
Omar,
So
let him explain,
so
Brody.
it may be a Near Eastern thing where we have fertility cults. Inside the fertility cults, we have satire that's appropriate for the fertility cult. It's not something that you look back. I think you're being insecure about it. And we tired of explaining it, and it's not a tit for tat because it's homoerotic sexual stuff in the Bible and Kemet and everything. It's incest and Kemet. So what's like? It's not something we want to have intelligent, scholarly conversations, not talk about this dumbass shit.
Yo, hold on. You know what? I can respect that, King J. But here's is what I'm gonna go back to, because the thing is,
Hold on 1 second,
before I come on
Omar.
the
Before
panel,
you get
hold
it
on,
out.
real quick,
All right,
5
go ahead.
seconds.
Then you
The
gotta go on
topic,
mute for a minute, Omar, boy. You been
I
hogging that.
will. The topic on this thing, I'm looking at it. It says the Hebrews be funny, bro.
Y'all do be funny, bro.
I'm sticking to the script, and y'all niggas is funny too. I land. Let's cook. Let's get it.
All right, so I wanna point something out real fast. I want to point something out. I just showed it. So most definitely, man, Kassad rematch for Game 7. He said he wish he wasn't at work. Hey, listen, this whole video stormed off of me. Who was up there? Sapphire and Kassad tearing him to shreds last night, man. And you know this has always got to be a group of y'all, man. Y'all can't never hang on your own. That's why when we get in these debates, we be embarrassing y'all like this. Because y'all only sound good when it's like 4 or 5 of y'all in a room against one other person who don't agree with y'all. But when that one person is a beast at what they do, y'all ain't got no chance. Y'all get the whole. Let me cam up when I say this. Y'all get the whole. This guy's good, right? This guy's good right here, man. Hey, listen, man. Y'all gotta understand, bro. Like, whether we debating on chronology, whether we use the Bible, it doesn't matter. As long as you keep walking around thinking this book is literal and historical and scientific, you always lose a debate against me.
Facts.
Always. Go ahead, y'all. Before we go ahead, y'all, I want to run I'm actually gonna run this last commercial, and then we're gonna get everybody closing out, y'all. Let's get it.
What happens when a Christian preacher's son starts asking questions nobody wants answered? What if faith and science were never supposed to be enemies? This is. Let's pause the noise for a second, because if you're still here right now, you're already different. Not everyone gets this. Not everyone understands real debate, real scholarship, real intellectual smoke. But you do. This is Coliseum of Arguments. This is Titans Debate League. And what happens here doesn't survive on algorithms. It survives on the people who believe in it. When you support through Cash App, you're not just donating. You're fueling the arena. You're the reason we can bring in high-level guests. You're the reason we keep unbiased judges. You're the reason these debates stay sharp, fair, and uncompromised. This platform is built by thinkers, sustained by supporters, protected by the ones who know value when they see it. If this show has ever sharpened your mind, has ever entertained you, or has ever challenged what you thought you knew, then Cash App is how you say, keep this going. Not everyone contributes, but the ones who do, they're part of what makes this real. Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League, powered by the people who get it.
All right. We're gonna go around the room for our closeouts. Yo, listen, I appreciate y'all. We're gonna start with Cosmic and work our way up. Go ahead, Cosmic. Is Cosmic there? All right, we're gonna come back to Cosmic. Go ahead, Ashe, Brody. Go ahead, Ashe.
Man, peace. It was a good show, bro. You did your thing around this one, man. It's always a good show over here, though, man. Really appreciate you for having me over here. My closing words is that until these black men come back to Africa, find a tribe in Africa, give up on the idea that they the tribe of Benjamin, Judah, Dan, all of that pseudoism that got everything to do with the Levantine area, and they claim that their patriarchy is in Mesopotamia. Until they get away from that and they find their tribe in Africa, they're always going to be pseudo.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Go ahead, brother King J.
Shit, definitely was a good show. Brought a couple of the heavy hitters out. The brother can't eat. Can't Kofa didn't get a chance to respond. A couple of brothers on the panel that didn't get a chance to speak, but definitely was a good show. Until next time.
Most definitely. What's up? Get in.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, humble bro, for letting me up, man. You know, always my brother. Shout out to all my other brothers on the panel. You know, all praises to the Most High in the name of Yahshua Hamashiach. You know, it's all good between y'all brothers. I'm always, wishing for everybody help. And pray that y'all also repent, you know what I'm saying, and come to the Most High. When I say repent, not like y'all wrong, but just, coming that way of life. I'm always striving. So, yeah, man, shout out, man. Shout out to my fellow Israelite brethren on the panel as well.
All right, most definitely. We're going Omar, and I think Cosmic is back. Cosmic, you back?
Yeah, I was
All right.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead,
back.
Cosmic, real fast before Omar give you closing statements.
You know,
Yo, I
I
didn't
don't, I don't mind if Cosmic take his time because I know we've been doing a lot of talking and he didn't even get a chance to say anything. So
Yeah.
if you want to go, if I just want to say real quick, this was excellent job, humble. You already know, man. We get to the end, man. Y'all still my brothers, but I don't want to step on Cosmic time because he didn't even really get a chance to talk to talk. But I love y'all brothers and I appreciate y'all, man. Shalom, brothers.
Definitely. You already know. Keep your head up, Omar. Keep your head up. Go ahead, brother Cosmic.
Yeah, I want to say appreciate you for having me up. I didn't get to contribute. I just wanted to actually engage. Um, this isn't necessarily the platform or the type of way that I engage, but I definitely need to get into the arena more often because steel sharpens steel. And this was a great conversation. It was good to be a part of it, at least even have the opportunity to add on. And I'll add on a little bit later, but I'm gonna say this because you might feel a certain way. I think the contendings they're wrong about it being satire, even though that may be the agreed upon consensus right now, because I know from a fact from studying another document that they created their stories, some of their stories based on the contendings of Heru. I'll just let you know. There's a dissertation called the Mythological Manuals of the Delta. I'm gonna just lay that out right there, where they show some of the stories of the different 42 Sappats. Not all of them. This was mostly some of the southern Sappats and the stories and how they would take national mythology and readjust it. For instance, not everybody agreed with that version that the Hebrews keep talking about, in Kemet, and they took that story and changed it for their Sappat, And so what you end up, and so they are correct that when the brother said some priest had his idea and was able to write that down, and that's what was found and is now taking the conversation. But there's other people and other Sappats that had a different way of approaching or adding on to that story, of dealing with that story. And so, and then you can find that, just go ahead and the dissertation is in French. So you're gonna have to do a little work in order to get to the information that's in there. But then you'll be able to understand a little bit better on how the different Sappats took national stories and then changed them in order to fit their personal geological or geographical theology. And the second thing, though, Kemet did have a thing with the sex joint. I have to admit that part, because you be reading some things like, damn man, I wish I just didn't do that. But it's what happened. It's and see, it's not like you approach Africa, not Kemet, but it's not like approaching Africa as if though there's no flaw in it. Like what we're doing is we're looking at what Africans have produced, how they produced it, how they created one of the greatest civilizations that this planet ever saw, and then what can we look to grab and recreate in the here and now. It's not necessarily about recreating a dead civilization, but it is about looking at what worked, what still is relevant, and implementing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all
I
right,
appreciate
that's
you
it.
for that, brother Cosmic.
All right, fam. Peace.
Most definitely. And last but not least, I know y'all got me, brother Humble. Always amazing. I want to give a shout out to the brothers in the Cosmic. I see you, Yerman Yahoo. We got the Soul Tribe family down there. I see you, Soul Tribe family. Thank you so much for your engagement. Yerman Yahoo, we see you. Thank you so much, Vince. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Once again, man, it's y'all engagement to keep us doing what we doing. Y'all go back and forth in the comments, whether y'all talking about what we talking about on the panel, or y'all, spark up your own conversations. That's that for me, the community coming together on these topics, having their own inputs. That's one great experience for me. Another thing is when we're dealing with Kemet, I like to always say we have to put these things in their proper context and their proper times. Y'all know, man, Kazar now talking about coming up with the chronology debate, right? And I think that's a major issue, definitely with the Hebrew Israelites, because they don't know chronology, because their so-called culture doesn't give them any proper chronology. But we'll find that a lot of these jokes or a lot of these satires come later in the Commission world. They're not there in the original. You see what I'm saying? So that's one pushback that I would give, even when dealing with something like that, is they're not original. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, I had a great show, man. These Hebrews be funny. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to end it out like this. I'm going to end it out with a song. Let me get it, bro.
At a certain point in life, man, when you feel you made it, it's within you. I ain't gotta rap about robbing, I ain't gotta rap about dope. It give me peace to let me know I give you hope. You know I made it. Hurting like a project curtain, pockets been down to the floor. When you love it, you would never let it go. You know I made it. Understand they gon' hate, real niggas feel my flow. That's how I like it, but I know they don't want smoke. You know I made it. Frontline when they go down, some people gon' lay low. I'm a soldier, I'm gon' cock and let it go. You know I made it, 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 finally made it. I put that bottle down, I do not come around. I done been ignorant, low in them clips and then running the bus and them hollow rounds, yeah. Now that I run the town, you would not hear a sound. It is a fact, I'm gonna kill every track and they already know I'ma hold it down, yeah. On a whole nother level, cruise control but no pedal.
Let's pause the noise for a second, because if you're still here right now, you're already different.